guaranteed. Get started with the best sports action anywhere. Prize Picks, run your game.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
Well, most commentators, ranging from CNN to Fox News to MSNBC, concluded that Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump in the Philadelphia debate. And while the ABC moderators clearly were much tougher and asked more follow-up questions of Donald Trump 5 times, clarifying the record, 0 for the vice president, Donald Trump called into Fox and Friends yesterday and said it was his best debate ever. He said, I think we did great. It was 3-1, referring to the ABC moderators. It was a rigged deal. He said they were correcting everything and not correcting with her. He went on to say, I think it was terrible from the standpoint of ABC. They're the most dishonest, in my opinion, the most dishonest news organization. And that's saying a lot because they're essentially all really dishonest. He doesn't give up easily. Meanwhile, the Taylor Swift endorsement of Kamala getting all kinds of media attention. With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
Hurricane recovery in Louisiana. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Utility crews have a lot more work to do a day after Francine's landfall as a Category 2 storm.
At the peak, we had over 450,000 people without power, and right now we're down to 350,000 people without power.
Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry urging residents to stay off the roads to help speed restoration. Francine is still on the move, now a tropical depression, heading north through Mississippi with heavy rain and a threat of tornadoes. Thousands of firefighters doing battle with thousands of residents evacuated in Southern California, where several wildfires in the mountains east of L.A. have now burned more than 100,000 acres.
I can hear the constant thump of helicopter rotor blades taking off for their water drops. We've also seen fixed-wing aircraft over us acting as spotters for the firefighters. Every resource that CAL FIRE has is being thrown at these fires, but it is an ongoing battle, and it will be a long one.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt is in Wrightwood, a ski resort town where hotspots continue a few days after flames charred the hillsides. Vice President Kamala Harris now in Charlotte for the first of 2 North Carolina rallies today.
The vice president is getting aggressive. This is a state, North Carolina, that Donald Trump won twice, and it was slipping away from Joe Biden again before they lost him from the ticket. And now the Harris team is trying to capitalize on what they see as debate momentum. Quinnipiac is putting Harris over Trump by 3 points in the Tar Heel state now, 50-47. That's a poll that was taken before the Philly debate.
Fox's Peter Ducey in Charlotte. The Fox News power rankings now give Harris the overall lead for the first time, projecting 341 electoral college votes compared to 219 for Trump, with North Carolina and Georgia moving from lean Republican to toss-up. America is listening to Fox News.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who is just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife Stephanie and 1-year-old son Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmy. How you doing? But Pete Davis, sidekick, producer at sports, raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler at the controls. It's Flounder, and it's Thursday. We got guests today for you, too. Neil Board's coming up at 4 o'clock. Shannon Burke at 5. It's 3:03. Here's a number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And kind of a rainy one. Pete Davis, Mountains of Macon. What's you a little rain up there today, sir?
Little rain up here, and I had a procedure done this morning.
Oh, procedure
early this morning.
Oh my God! What?
I asked the surgeon if I could use the anesthesia on myself, and he said, "Sure, knock yourself out."
Knock yourself. So if you could do on your, if you could see, I asked the surgeon. You see, if you could.
Is Flounder naked?
He could be naked. It's dark, and you never see him there. It's just he keeps it black.
The camera's off.
He has the camera's off, and he doesn't want to be seen. He's got stuff back there, and I don't know what's going on. So it's I don't want to impinge on his darkness of caveness.
Is that better?
Yes.
There we go.
By the way, I've never seen you in a check shirt, long sleeve shirt.
I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay.
And this is just one of my standard flannels.
You're lying again. You've never worn a shirt like that as long as I've ever known you.
I've worn flannels before.
Yes, he's one.
Well, all right then. What do I know? God, 304.
Mr. Observant there.
Oh, my teeth hurt. I can't wait to go to Dr. Dina next week. I'm going to get my teeth cleaned. I realize I think my gums hurt because, well, they just need to be, rippity-roppity. So I'm going to start taking.
Do you floss?
I don't. I'm going to start again. I used to, and
probably an issue.
That's why. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is, and they need to be taken care of. So I'm kind of excited about that stuff. Other than that, let's see. Flounder, anything new with you in the last 24 hours?
No, sir. All is well.
Excellent. And now I can't see out the windows. They got the shades down, but as I came in, it was just kind of sprinkly. I thought the storm was going to be hitting like today. And for the next couple of days, probably Saturday, maybe into Sunday. But again, right now, here where we are at the Battery, it's just kind of sprinkly, and I'm not even sure it's even raining at all right now. I can't tell you. And by the way, I hope not, because I realized as I was walking from the parking garage to the radio station, I did not bring my umbrella. So if it's pouring at 6:08 or something, I don't care, because tonight's laundry night. Because every 2 days I do laundry, so tonight's laundry night. So if I get soaking wet, I don't give a damn, and I'm not going anywhere.
How many clothes do you go through?
Well, what do you mean? Every day I wear
2 days?
clothes. Well, no, I mean, I wear, okay, if you must know, Mr. Snippety Snappity, for some reason, now I get into these things. And my thing right now is I've started wearing jeans again. For a long time, I was wearing khaki slack, Dockers and, khaki slacks this summer because they're lighter than jeans. And I just started realizing again, I just really like wearing these jeans and, because I may go to the stable or whatever. So I've been wearing jeans, and I have 2 pair of jeans that I like particularly that fit are close to being on the waist, and so I do laundry regularly, so I can't wear them every day for 4 or 5 days or something. That's silly. So, and I only wear. I'm like a kid when I come home from school. Put on your play clothes, and when I come home from work, when I drive home, first thing I do is take off my jeans and put on my running shorts, and I don't put on my clothes for work again until I actually go to work the next day.
These things that you're falling into, they're called ruts.
Yeah, that's true. I'm a rut guy, no question about it. But yeah, I think I'll change now for what reason? This is it for me.
Put a suit and tie on for dinner when you cook yourself dinner.
Yeah, well, that's right. Walk in, honey, I'm home every day. Swear to God, I do it every day.
Take the Swanson TV dinner, the Salisbury steak out of the microwave.
Put up the TV tray.
Light the candle.
Get a little glass of wine,
Maybe an aperitif.
A little brandy after dinner brandy. Honey, how was your day? I have a whole thing in my head. I talk to myself frequently. I talk back to the computer screen quite a bit, too. But seriously, boom, hey, 307. Holy cow. Anyway, here's the number, 404-741-12. I'll put that over there. Get out of my way. Those freaking morning people. Man, they just ruin things in here. They ruin it, I tell you. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see. We got Pete's Tweets. We have Holy Crap at Sports. We have Flounder's Funnies. And, we got a million things. Oh, a couple of TV. We have news, although I'm not really thrilled about any particular breaking story. The Secret Service acting assistant guy retired on full pay because he wants to get the hell out of there now, which is, not surprising. I'm surprised they all haven't left. If they can retire and take their money and go do something else or just relax at the beach, why not? Boy, I wish I could. Seriously, if you get a chance to do it. And these days, if you don't need, well, whatever. Anyway, so I really don't care about that. Also, the spacewalk. I kept looking at this morning while I'm working at home before I come in. I'm looking at this spacewalk the first time. Civilians have been in space, and they're walking. They're apparently higher up than the moon people were and stuff. And I guess the people who did it are all not only civilian volunteers, but one of them is a billionaire who paid his way to get on the ship or something. I don't know. And so then they were showing this first spacewalk by da-da-da-da-da. And I kept looking and looking and looking, and all I've ever seen so far is the guy or whoever it was in the suit kind of hanging halfway in and halfway out of the hatch. I didn't see any spacewalking. And plus I don't get, who cares? I mean, I really, I just don't care. It's not a, It's so,
you know why you should?
Some billionaire can go up there, but he's got the money to go up and be in space and walk around for 20 minutes and everybody's happy.
Well, NASA's worried about, the pronouns and flying different flags and everything.
Yeah.
The private industry is spacewalking.
Yeah, not only that, the Chinese, I believe, are going on the dark side of the moon. They're landing stuff on the dark side of the moon. And that's what they're saying. I just read a thing about that a little while ago. Anyway, 309-404-741-1230. Let's see what. Speaking of. I guess we were speaking of anything. Speaking of OTV, just see the videos going around. In fact, I think Pete just sent it to us too. I was looking at it in Monroe, Louisiana. The hurricane's hitting Louisiana, and so in Monroe, Louisiana, which is down south quite a bit in the southern part, near the Gulf, and so there's a weatherman was doing a live report, and while he was on TV, behind him, he was showing the weather behind him. Behind him, there was a guy with a pole and a great big Trump sign. A big blue sign that said Trump 2024, and he was running behind the weatherman, waving with the flag, waving in the breeze and the wind, the hurricane wind. And so the weatherman saw the monitor in the TV screen he was looking at, and he realized the guy with the Trump sign was running behind him. So the weatherman, I'm on YouTube doing this if we're on YouTube, and so the weatherman turned and blocked the camera from seeing the guy with the Trump sign.
And you hear him say, "We got to cut the feed. Cut the feed."
Jeez, I mean, this is American. This is American media. Can you imagine the balls on this? A weatherman. Where the hell does a weatherman get off determining what people get to see concerning a possible political stunt? And by the way, it's not your TV station, pal. It's not your signal. It's not your weathercast. You don't own it. The TV station owns it. The American people are watching it. Well, I mean, but just typical. Freaking typical. In fact, we have a lot of media stuff today, including even Jake Taper. I got to calm down. Juke Tupper, that's his name. Juke Tupper, even to CNN, was complaining about Carmelo. I said we got all this stuff too. First, let's do a little happy news story. Let's do the Bon Jovi story. Have you seen the video? I saw the video. It was really cool. I got quite emotional, actually, as it turned out. John Bon Jovi was doing a music video filming at the Siegenthaler Pedestrian Bridge in Nashville. And you can see the video shared by the police department surveillance video. There's a woman on the wrong side of the bridge. Looks like she's ready to jump. So Bon Jovi and another guy, his fellow Good Samaritan, started slowly approaching her, talking to her, and clearly whatever he said was working, and she didn't do anything, and they talked for a second, and then he and the other guy got her and helped her over the ledge back to safety, and they talked for a second, and then they hugged. She hugged Bon Jovi. And he doesn't want to make any comments out of respect for her. We don't know. I to this day don't know who she is. I don't think they've actually mentioned it. Bon Jovi has created his own foundation to help people who are homeless or poor or hungry with families across America. So he's been trained in speaking to people who are in crisis situations. The police chief said he's a great shout out to this guy. It takes a lot of us to keep each other safe. Another said he's a gall darn saint. And by the way, the John Siegenthaler Bridge was named it's a pedestrian bridge, was named for a reporter who also stopped a man from jumping off that bridge and committing suicide back in the 1950s. So, you probably have to assume that the woman who was going to kill herself did it there for that reason, because it was the suicide prevention bridge, basically. I mean, what a thing in your mind. I mean, just think of the story that must be going on in her head. And he saved her life. And what a great, what a nice, just a great story. And again, he doesn't want to talk about it because it was just a thing. But, God bless him. All right, 3:13 in the drizzle or not, and maybe rain coming. What the hell? It's Thursday. Neil Bortz at 4, Shannon Burke at 5, and we got all stuff in between with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? Look out. Look out, it's a Kimmer. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
When you see those soldiers standing there in driving rain, they're told to leave their post, and they're like, I will not, because I have so much reverence for the people that this tomb represents. And then you have Democrats who don't even show up. Until you show up, shut up.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Okie dokie, 3:14. How's it going? 404-741-1230, 1230. It's only the Kimmer, Pete Davis, and Flounder with your actual Thursday show. And the boys at boys and the girls, the guys at Atlanta Safe House, Jeff and Mark and the whole team, got big deals for you going on. It's still summertime officially, so we got specials like saving hundreds of dollars on those great big gun safes. Like I had 2 of them, those babies. They can bore and bolt down those things from the inside to make sure that no one's going to get anything from your concrete floor, your basement, or garage or whatever, just like they did for me. And again, when I went to Florida and retired, I didn't have a safe down there, lost my medical records. VA said, don't talk to us again. We don't like you, or something like that. Anyway, don't be like the Kimmer. Save your stuff in a safe. Come on, it's not just a cardboard box. Good Lord, what happens in a flood or a fire or something? Look what's going on in the storm in Louisiana right now. And hell, we have them here all the time. Anyway, you know the thing about safes. You don't think about it. But if you're in the area in Ackworth on Industrial Boulevard, for the fun of it, stop in and just say, whoa, this stuff is really cool. And again, the gun safes are great big safes, as big as you want, but they're not just big empty things for rifles. They have nooks and crannies and shelving units, and they can design anything you want. Also, really, really good news. All of them are basically on sale all the time. And pistol safes, when you check out these babies. And remember this, for the rest of the year, Atlanta Safe House will pay all the sales tax on any and every safe you get at Atlanta Safe House. They pay the sales tax. You don't have to worry about a darn thing. It's just another saying, thank you for what you do. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Showroom in Ackworth and on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
With the upcoming election, an assassination attempt on President Trump, wars overseas, inflation, and stock market volatility, these are uncertain times. Do you have a plan? Are you prepared today to have a worry-free tomorrow? If you haven't been to True Prep, now is the time. True Prep is locally owned and operated by Joey and Matthew, who are Georgia Tech graduates. Visit True Prep on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
You take it for granted, but it's the biggest piece of moving equipment in your home, your garage door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. When trust matters, like when your garage door doesn't open or needs to be replaced, trust us. Here's why. All Four Seasons is a local, family-owned company built over 25 years ago on honesty, customer service, and teamwork. If you've got garage door issues, trust us to repair or replace. We'll make it easy. All, the number 4, seasonsgarages.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Election season is here, and regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, we can all experience the stress of uncertainty. Fear of the unknown can cause us to postpone important decisions that impact our lives, especially in retirement planning. Resist hesitation and contact Masterplan Retirement Consultants, a holistic retirement planning firm dedicated to creating a retirement plan to help with all of life's surprises. Through income planning and money management, legacy planning, and tax planning, we create a plan specifically designed for your life to see you to and through retirement. Don't leave your retirement up to chance. Create a plan for your retirement and pursue peace of mind. Visit masterplanretire.com. Masterplan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Masterplan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Masterplan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
When it comes to protecting your assets and ensuring peace of mind, trust the expertise of Nelson Eldercare Law. Our Absolute Protection Trust is designed to provide unparalleled asset protection. Visit NelsonEldercareLaw.com to discover how our specialized services can safeguard your family's future and assets, offering you the assurance you deserve. NelsonEldercareLaw.com.
Hey gang, it's Neil Bordson. Did you ever think you'd hear me and the Kimmer doing radio together? Yeah, I'm live with the Kimmer Show every week right here on XTRA 106.3.
Yeah, look out.
The XTRA app. Now, back to the Jarhead.
Yeah, you got that right. Neil Board's coming up at 4. It's 3:19. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, how you doing? 404-741-1230. Here on this day, 2007, surviving members of Led Zeppelin said they would reform for a star-studded tribute in London. Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, and John Paul Jones would play at a show to remember the late Atlantic Records founder, Ahmet Ertegun. The place of Led Zeppelin drummer John Bonham, who died in 1980, again, we're talking 2007. He died in 1980, would be taken by his son Jason. The one-off concert, the trio's first performance in 19 years, would take place at the O2 Arena in London on the 26th of November, 2007. At 3:20, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Birthday list includes Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland. She's 50. All I Want to Do, Already Gone, Stuck Like Glue. And she hosted that show that we were talking about. Farmer needs a woman who will pretend to be in love with him so she can be on TV until she finds somebody better. That may not have been the exact title. I may have added a couple of syllables in there at some point. Farmers, yeah, that'll be real. Oh. 321. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, and a history list there. 1918. A couple of war things. Cool. World War I, Battle of Saint-Mathieu. I might have mispronounced that in French thing there. World War I, this day, 1918. American soldiers show up in tanks. That must have been a hell of a scene. You imagine the first time anybody else had seen tanks in battle. What the hell? And they were funny looking, too. In 1918, they were, big carriages with kind of a turret thing on them. They were built by the French, by the way. That was 1918, World War I. World War II, 1943, Hitler found out that Mussolini had been captured and was moved into custody and a mountain Italian retreat. So Hitler sent a team of Nazi paratroopers on gliders to swoop silently into the courtyard, overpowered the guards, and freed Mussolini. That was 1943. Unfortunately, 2 years later, Mussolini and his mistress were caught trying to sneak away. They were machine gunned, and then their bodies were hanged upside down for the world to see, because dictators are not nice people. Oh, by the way, 322. What's this about? We get a new program guy? We got some new program like consultant or something. Let me just say, he's not coming in here, right? And by the way, if the first thing is that get rid of the birthdays and history list because the old fart's been said we're going to have a problem. So I don't know about what new program? What's he going to change, Kimmer? I'm not changing. What?
Now calm down. When Flounder and I met with him yesterday,
yeah,
we had
that's what I'm afraid of. The first thing to go is a birthday and history list. And then me. I'll say birthdays, histories, and the Kimmer, then we'll be fine. Get rid of those three things in that order. Thanks a lot. Anybody got any openings? I'm a dead man. Can you imagine a program? I mean, seriously, we got a new programmer coming, doing something. These freaking consultants. Oh, God. Yeah, what are they going to do with me? Seriously, the guy, I guarantee the guy's never heard of me. So he's going to come into town and go, Jesus, what's that 3 to 6 guy? Can you imagine? Anyway, all right. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine. 323. Oh, by the way.
All is well.
Well, all is well. Nothing to see here.
All is well.
Oh, really? I got $9,000 in the bank. I'm good for a while.
1,000 there.
All the rest of my money's tied up in cash. Coins. 323. Okay. By the way, this story's finally, I don't know whether it's getting play. In fact, you guys may tell me. Do you know if the story of the video of President Stupidface wearing the Trump hat, is that getting any play anywhere other than Fox News? Is it getting a lot of play? No. Now, and let me ask you this.
Media.
But I mean on NBC, is mainstream media done anything? I see, that's the other thing. Social media does everything, but the mainstream media does not cover this kind of stuff because, frankly, I think this is a disgrace. We're going to play that soundbite here in a moment, Flounder. Again, this is President Stupidface, who was in Pennsylvania, and he was at the firehouse, asked whether he remembered it. Honest to God, he was asked whether he remembered his name, put on a Trump hat, and was telling the crowd, don't eat dogs and cats. He was at the firehouse in Shanksville where the plane went down, 9/11, of course, to commemorate and he's just goofing around and having a good time. And so, in fact, Flounder, let's play the audio. It's kind of hard to hear, but a guy wearing a Trump hat offers to trade him his hat with a presidential seal on it for the Trump hat and wants to get an autograph, stuff like that. Here's the actual sound of what happened there at the event.
Trump hat, I'll give you my presidential hat. Presidential seal on it.
You want to autograph it?
Oh, sure, I'll autograph it.
Huh?
Yeah.
You remember your name?
You remember your name?
I remember my name. I'm slow.
You're an old fart.
Yeah,
You're an old fart.
I'm an old guy.
And you're an old fart, right?
I know you would know about that.
What?
About being old.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I'm a young timer.
It reminds me of the guys I grew up with. There was always one in the neighborhood.
Reminds me of guys I grew up with. Reminds me of guys I grew up with.
There you go, man.
Put it on.
I need that hat.
Yes, we want an autograph.
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Yeah.
Put it on. Not going that far.
There you go.
And then he did. He put it on. And listen.
Hey, I'm proud of you now.
I'm burning now, you old fart.
Just remember, no eating dogs and cats.
Biden said, remember, no eating dogs or cats.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. I hope you like the pizza. You guys picked the best to get. I don't know where it's
Anyway, so, but here's what. Okay, first of all, people are going to say, and I guess they probably are saying, oh, but that was so sweet, and he's joking around, and it shows he's got a great sense of humor. So this is not a nice man. This is a slime bag. This is the guy who was looking at his watch when the dead bodies were brought back to the Air Force Base from Afghanistan that he was responsible for. This is a guy who deliberately opened up the borders and all the fentanyl and all the murderers and rapists who came over because of him. This is the guy who was so incompetent that he was so brain-addled that the federal investigators who interviewed him said he's too much of a stupid old man to stand trial for his criminal offenses. They said he's guilty of breaking the law when he was not entitled to any secret documents. Donald Trump was president when he took secret documents as he should have been allowed to. Biden was not. He had no authority to take any top secret documents, to put him in his freaking garage next to his freaking Corvette. He broke the law. He got away with it when Trump got everything but impeached and then put in prison because of the same damn charge. And then he pulls this kind of stuff. And then they oust him in a coup, and he pretends to take one for the team. This is a despicable slime bag. Let's not forget the 120 or however many it was banking transactions that were basically money laundering, which international banks flagged as crimes. Let's not forget the offshore, 23 offshore accounts raising millions of dollars for the Biden family when he was vice president and president. And his son, enabling his son to keep raising money for the family with meetings, making phone calls with his Chinese investors. This man is a slime bag. He ought to be in prison. He's not a nice man. This is crap. I mean, seriously, I mean, it just galls me. And again, he's just so sweet. He brought us out of the trenches. Oh, God.
The sad thing, that's the most human he has been in the last 4 years.
That's right. And I assume I haven't watched mainstream media literally in years, and I'm not going to anymore, period. I'm sure they say, he shows it, he just does. This is the Biden we know, the sweet guy joking around, having fun with people. Yeah, on 9/11, joking around, and just, I don't... Just unbelievable. Anyway, all right, 329, Kimmer, Feet, and Flounder. God, that makes you so freaking mad. Jake Tapper called out Carmela's side piece. He said the sitting vice president referring to talking points. Yeah, no kidding. He said it went on from talking points despite the economy #1 issue facing the country. The sitting vice president reverts to talking points on her policy proposals. Even Harris allies are saying she needs to talk more about what the hell she's going to do. She dodged the border question. When they asked her how she would manage a crisis better than Biden, she said, I'm the only person here who's prosecuted international criminal organizations. Well, that wasn't the question. The question wasn't who's prosecuted terrorist organizations. The question is what you're going to do about the border. But she couldn't throw him under the bus, and she didn't have an answer. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And again, these freaking reporter people, just absolutely disgraceful. In Time Magazine, have you heard about this one? Time Magazine, during the debate, Donald Trump remarked on Vice President Upsadaisy and her position on the left-wing issues which she has flip-flopped on. And Trump said now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens who are in prison. Well, Time Magazine said although Harris pledged she'd support taxpayer-funded gender care for detained migrants during her first presidential campaign, the statement is false. The original version of the story mischaracterized as false Donald Trump's statement. In other words, Time Magazine called him a liar. Time Magazine called Donald Trump a liar because he said, oh, my God, she wants to give transgender operations to illegal aliens who are in prison. Okay, not only giving taxpayer money to change your gender, it's going to change taxpayer money to change gender of an illegal alien who's also a prisoner. Why should taxpayer money pay for anybody's transitioning gender stuff? That's not a federal thing. Why should my money go to have you to become a girl? I mean, seriously, what are they? They're and Time Magazine said, Trump's lying again. And they had to issue a correction because obviously they got caught because she said it. Oh, I'm sorry, hating these people is not deep enough in your soul yet. 331, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on a happy Thursday here at 106.3 with a new programming guy. Oh, I can't wait to meet him. Oh, God, I hope it's a guy. Oh, God, if it's a girl. Oh, God. Oh, God.
XTRA 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, XTRA is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is XTRA 106.3 FM. And listen across Georgia on the XTRA app.
Hey, it's front office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Kawasaki. As the sports seasons heat up, make sure your equipment runs like a pro with genuine Kawasaki parts from Howard Brothers. Whether you're tuning your outdoor gear or changing your machine's filters, Kawasaki parts deliver the performance and reliability you need to stay ahead of the game. This season, keep your machines running strong with Kawasaki parts, because in the game of maintenance, quality parts make all of the difference. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Kawasaki and Howard Brothers.
This time of year, there are two things you can't stop: the leaves falling off the trees and the prices falling at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. If you are planning a fall wedding, birthday, or anniversary, there's never been a better time to visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers. Percentage Week is back for 1 week only, September 16th through the 22nd. This is your chance to save up to 60% off on engagement rings, wedding bands, earrings, necklaces, bracelets, and more. Everything in all three of our showrooms will be discounted up to 60% off. Now is the best time to save on the engagement ring and wedding bands of your dreams. Choose from all of the top designers in the industry, or say I love you with a beautiful pair of diamond earrings or a tennis bracelet. Remember, no matter the price, you'll find something nice at Solomon Brothers. So visit us for Percentage Week, September 16th through the 22nd, going on in all three of our showrooms in Buckhead, Alpharetta, and Sharpsburg, or online at solomonbrothers.com.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on XTRA 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Hey, everybody, it's Neil Bortz, an actual attorney spokesperson for Van Sant Law. Notice the heavy traffic out there? Yep, school's back in session. Things can happen. Sometimes people aren't that careful. Maybe an accident. But David Van Sant, he's there to help smooth the way for you if somebody you love gets hurt. Call Van Sant Law at 855-GA-INJURY. 855-GA-INJURY. First call after 9/11, Van Sant Law. 855-GA-INJURY.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
My fellow Americans, our yards are in troubled times. Unwanted weeds are crossing fence lines across our great nation, and we need to put a stop to it. No more college football Saturdays spent mowing the lawn. No, sir. Let's turf it with ultra-premium artificial grass from ATL Turf Co. They're Atlanta and North Georgia's first choice for premium turf solutions, from incredible lawns to custom putting greens. Let's make your yard great again with a free consultation at atlturfco.com.
and didn't get away with the Colombo got him. Anyway, phone calls take priority. 338. It's Rick. You're on the radio. Rick, how's it going? What's going on, sir? Hello, Rick. He's right there. Hey, Rick. Oh, hey-oh. Rick the Richter, the Rickinator. Yeah, Rick is right there. Hello.
Talking to me?
Yeah, you're on the radio.
Talking to me?
Talking to you.
You talking to me?
Okay, cool. First of all, floss. Go.
Floss, yes. I've got those little sticks. I have those. No, I have them. I have those. Yeah, I know. I have them.
They're cheap.
Yeah.
And just do it.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, I wanted to ask a couple of questions.
Yeah.
1980 Zeppelin. I don't know why I wrote that down.
Okay.
But anyway, I actually rewatched the debate from last night or whenever that was.
Yeah.
Donald Trump did great. I can't believe how great he did. I am shocked that he hit every issue that I wanted him to bring up. But anyway, do you guys remember a girl named Rudy Bakhtiar?
I'm sorry, Rudy who?
Rudy Bakhtiar.
Rudy Bakhtiar.
From CNN or Headline News.
Oh, you know, I do remember. I do remember that name.
When 9/11 happened, I happened to be working at CNN. By the way, in case it wasn't clear, I am the retired CNN guy. I worked for CNN, and I was in the control room when the first plane hit on 9/11. All right.
Yes, sir.
And I could not believe it. I just got called to the control room because something was wrong with some. I don't know, some computer thing.
Yeah.
But we saw the second plane fly into the World Tower, the number 2 tower, and it. Oh my God! I could not believe it. I was in the control room when that happened, and Rudy Bakhtiar was our anchor at Headline News at the time, and all she said was, "Oh my God!"
Yeah. That's all it took. And again, I remember when that second plane hit, everybody said, well, it wasn't an accident. Oh my, that's when, oh my God, oh my, here comes another. I mean, that was just shocking.
Exactly. Yeah. And like a week later, we replaced Rudy Bakhtiar on air with Robin Meade, one of the greatest anchors ever to be on TV. And I just wanted to mention that, and I miss Robin Meade being on TV. It was crazy that we went through all of this. And like I said, I was the CNN guy, retired now.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to know what happened in the back stories or whatever for CNN, please let me know.
All right, Rick, thank you, man. We appreciate it. 341, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Let's see. I didn't get our birthday list on. We had before our program consultant rips me of the pleasure. I put time into this. Oh, sorry. We have a new program guy or something. He's not coming in here. Flounder, you know better than to let him in the door, right, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You're creating straw men.
Sorry. Have you ever remember the TV show Dallas? I think it was the girl. Linda Gray. Remember Linda Gray?
Yeah.
Beautiful brunette with the big lips. Man, she had a mouth on her. Linda Gray was very like modelly looking, very glamorous. Linda Gray is 84 years old. Wow, good for her. And on this day in history, as long as I can still do it, let's see. Let's pick this one. Oh, here we go. So 17. Oh, this is important to think about this again. But I wish more people, including me, had read or knew way more about the founding of our nation than I do now. I mean, I wish I'd known about this as a boy, taught in schools. This is so important. This is how difficult it was to come up with a country. 1787. American statesman George Mason. And we just disagree. Not that George Mason, silly. The George Mason statesman guy. He wanted to add something to the new Constitution in 1787. Something he called a Bill of Rights. He said this is designed after all the various state declarations of what they thought was important to put in the Constitution, but they couldn't put everything in, so he kind of did a collection of the various colonies and states' ideas, and he said, here's 10 of them, and we ought to really include this in this new Constitution, and it was turned down. The motion was completely defeated in 1787, but in September 1789, the Bill of Rights was included. And again, 2 years to debate whether we should have freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of religion, Second Amendment. I mean, my God. And those were all things that they, again, think about what it must have been like. And again, these were, there were no phones. It was, these were people riding on horseback and, wagons to go meet and figure out what the hell to do with their, turkey feather pens and ink. Oh, God, what a story. I mean, just the founding of a nation, and we don't know crap about it. Anyway, 344. Sorry, I was a little goofy here for a second there. Oh, by the way, speaking of the debate, and again, if I were Donald Trump, and Neil Bort's coming up at 4, I'm sure he's going to have a lot of comments about this. If I were Donald Trump, if there's another debate, and what he should have done in the first debate is, for example, when they were talking about Carmela, and she would always put Donald Trump on the defensive, and for example, when they came to him, the first thing he should have said was, "Okay, panel, are you going to fact check her, or shall I?" Every time they came to him and let her get away with it, he should have fact-checked her. He should have called them every single time and make her answer yes or no questions. Do you believe that there should be no criminal penalties for coming across a border illegally, yes or no? Should there be civil penalties, no penalties, or criminal penalties? What's your view? And all she said earlier was there should be consequences. That could be a letter in your file. That doesn't mean squat. In other words, he needed to nail down the moderators who picked on him and never picked on her. And now listen to this. ABC News is getting ripped, as they should. And by the way, what a sleazy, slimy operation they're running over there. They might even be worse than NBC. Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America, the pro-life group, has demanded that ABC and the debate moderators issue an correction and update on abortion survivors fact-checking Donald Trump. Here's a perfect example of it. During that girl, Lindsay Davis, the Trump hater, the screaming socialist liberal, Trump said that there are some states that allow for a killing of an infant after birth. We all know the famous story of the former Virginia governor, Ralph Northam, said that the doctors would actually, by law, be allowed to tell the mother, if you don't want to keep the baby, we can put it to sleep, basically, in a humane way. I saw the interview. The baby would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and family desired, and then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. That's what he said in 2019. The governor said it. Trump referred to that in the debate, and the girl said, there's no state in this country where it's legal to kill a baby after it's born. That's a lie. There are several states where it's legal to kill a baby as it's being born. And so now they're saying, this is again, they didn't check down Carmela's side piece on that. I mean, this is, and I don't know whether we should do another debate if it's going to be the same, unless it's on Fox. Anyway, we'll see. 346, Flounder, Kim Repeat, and Flounder with the music playing. Here we go. Stand by. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
There are a lot of perfectly nice, peace-loving Muslims, and they'll stay that way until their percentage of the population reaches critical mass, at which point it's death to the infidels.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on XTRA 106.3 or listen anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Tug with election season in full swing and football on everybody's mind. Don't forget that fall's just around the corner. As those leaves start to drop, your gutters and roof might need some attention. Southern Exteriors has been protecting homes across the Southeast. Whether you need gutter cleaning, want to add gutter covers, or both, now's the time to get it done. Plus, with any cleaning job, you'll get a free roof inspection. Call Southern Exteriors today at 8779-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPsETC.com.
The buzz is back.
House call! Touchdown Jackets!
This Saturday, don't miss Georgia Tech football live from the Flats in downtown Atlanta as the Jackets take on the VMI Key Dance.
Slip through. Oh, and he's gone. 20, 15, 5. House call! Jamal Haynes!
The Randland Rec kickoff show's on the air at 1:30 p.m., followed by a 3:30 kick from Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta on the Georgia Tech Sports Network.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Oh, man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off. Or maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast's leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling.
There we go. 351. How you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Now, I'm going to read the story the way it's written, which is why you can tell this was written by a pencil pusher and not a broadcaster. 2002. The son of Rod Stewart was sentenced to 90 days in jail in order to undergo... Okay, see, the thing is, it sounds like Rod Stewart was sentenced to 90 days in jail because it was the son of Rod Stewart was sentenced to... Okay. Rod Stewart's son was sentenced to 90 days in jail and ordered on a drug thing, no contest. He attacked a guy in Malibu at a restaurant. He was 22 at the time. He was arrested in December 2001, kicking the man in the face and the stomach. And they let him get away with probation? Oh, they got 90 days in jail and then the probation, and he gave some money to the guy he kicked. Jeez. Birthday list includes, hold on, I keep changing my volume here. The hideous Joe Pantoliano. I hated his character in Ralphie Cifaretto in The Sopranos was just horrible. I just hated his character. Thank God they killed him. In fact, I remember when they cut his head off, they found out he was wearing a wig. He had no idea. Joe Pantoliano, I think it's pronounced, 73. He was Cypher in The Matrix, Guido the Pimp in Risky Business, Francis Fratelli in The Goonies, Teddy in Memento, and Ralphie in The Sopranos, 73 years old today. And on this day in history, imagine this story. 1940. 4 teenagers are following their dog outside playing, goofing around near Lascaux, France, when the dog went down a hole. So the 4 teenagers followed the dog and see what was going on in this cave, and they discovered paintings in the cave that were 17,000 years old. There were 600 paintings, mostly big animals and also fauna, the foliage from the time, and it was. They say that it was 17,000 years old, and it showed them the emerging human awareness during the Ice Age. Was a fairly astounding discovery. 4 kids, teenagers, following their dog in France. 17,000 years old, the paintings in the cave. Wow. 354, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? 404-741-1230. 741. Oh, hey, ho, ho. That's how I didn't even hold my sign. Thank you, Flounder. We got tweets, and we got memes, and we got Pete, and we got Pete's tweets.
Daily Mail is reporting, just broke, that Donald Trump says there'll be no third debate. That's it.
No third debate?
Hey, just once. He's already done 2.
Well, he won with Biden.
Yeah, he's done 2.
Oh, my God.
So he says there's going to be no third debate. So I guess it's one mistake after another. Just keep compounding it. I don't know. I don't know who's running his campaign.
It could be so simple if he just stuck to the freaking script and said yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. How come you changed? If it was bad before, why isn't it bad? I mean, my God. Anyway, sorry, God. Idiot.
Anyway. Remember the other day when we talked about guillotines, and how long does a head stay alive after you get the head cut off and all that?
Coming down, yeah.
Charlie posts that when you die, your brain stays active for about 7 minutes. What does it do for those 7 minutes, do you think?
Review your life, probably. I don't know. Look at all your memory stuff, maybe. I don't know.
It replays your past memories like a dream sequence.
And now how would he know that, I wonder? I believe it.
Scientists have supposedly looked into. I don't know how they know. I have no clue. Maybe some people who died and came back tell you what was going on that legally died.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you, that head's still alive.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you. You're watching yourself roll around on the floor.
Yeah. I almost can't wait, honestly. Sorry.
Well, you can't wait. Wall Street Silver tweets, Taylor Swift is a genius for dating Travis Kelce. By her dating Kelce, it brings more people to the game of football. More people interested in football leads to more people playing football, which leads to more head injuries, which leads to more Taylor Swift fans. Gotta make sense now, doesn't it?
There you go. I get it now.
Andy Woe tweets, there's a new billboard campaign in Phoenix in the style of the Chick-fil-A Eat More Chicken ads. It shows kittens dressed up as cows saying, eat less kittens, vote Republican.
There's some great memes of Donald Trump and cats and ducks. Oh, my God.
And the Democrats are calling them racist, by the way.
Oh,
kittens dressed as cows is racist. And British actor Lawrence Fox tweeted a pic of Kamala dressed up as Marie Antoinette. The caption reads, let them eat cats.
Oh, Lordy. Again, one of the many ways that Trump got distracted a little bit. And, the issue, J.D. Vance did the issue properly. If Donald Trump, when she brought it up or something, he said, that's not the issue. The issue is that your administration allowed 20,000 legal but immigrant people with no training, couldn't speak English, don't have driver's licenses. All of a sudden, 20,000 people showed up in a town of only 50,000 people, and they couldn't deal with what's going on. In fact, there was a hearing today in the news. Trump should have just been very specific. Forget the eating part and say, well, that's what they're saying. We don't know what's going on. But this is the truth. Your administration's responsible for for allowing this to happen and then not taking care of the situation you caused. Every single time he should have stuck to the thing and said, that's nonsense. Here's what the issue is. And again, a little thing like this. Oh, hell, we got time. We got to do a Flounders Funny. I'll make the point when Neil Boort's coming up about what he should have done here. 3:50, almost 3:58. Boort's coming up at 4 o'clock, and we do have Flounders Funny, so I'll make a point about trying to I got to correct her the thing. Here we go. What do you got there? Nate Bargatze, I'm guessing.
The one and only.
He's a very funny individual. Coming up on 3:59. Well, one of the points I was going to make, and we'll talk about with Neil here, he's coming up at 4 o'clock, was that when she said she was opposed to fracking, we have her on audio talking about it in video, she said because it was bad for the community, bad for the ecology, bad for the environment, it was harmful, and da-da-da-da-da. So now she's in favor of fracking, so Trump should have said, what is it about fracking that changed that now you say it's not bad for the economy, it's not bad for the ecology, it's not bad for the environment. What changed on that? And just make her answer the freaking question, because the moderators won't do it. And now you're telling me no more debate? He caved in, man. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Well, Neil Boortz probably can't either. We'll check with him next. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and Neil Boortz, 4 o'clock, 106.3. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
One of the criminal cases against the former president is shrinking. Lisa Brady, Fox News. A Georgia judge just dismissing 2 criminal counts in the state's election interference case against former President Trump and 1 other count against allies. That case has been stalled in a court fight over the lead prosecutor, Fani Willis. Trump just announcing there will be no third debate after doing 1 each with President Biden and then Vice President Harris, suggesting again that he won this week's debate after the Harris campaign quickly called for another. And she just did that again.
2 nights ago, Donald Trump and I had our first debate. And I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
This at the first of 2 rallies today in North Carolina. That's one of 2 states, along with Georgia, where Trump has lost his edge in the new Fox News power rankings, giving Harris an overall lead for the first time. Republican National Committee Chair Michael Whatley just telling Fox News.
What we're seeing in every single one of these battleground states is that on this same day in 2024, Donald Trump is doing better than he was on the same day in 2020 or 2016. So we feel very comfortable about the trajectory of this race.
Trump rallies later in Arizona. On Capitol Hill, closed-door briefings for lawmakers from the acting Secret Service director about the Trump assassination attempt. Connecticut Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal says a report is coming soon.
That I think will absolutely shock the American people, or it should, about
the lapses and lags in the protection that was afforded that day and the breakdown in communication, failure in responsibility.
The FBI is still investigating the shooter. The Dow up 235 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
Jerry Padgett, the second enlisted in the U.S. Navy and deployed multiple times to Iraq and Afghanistan until Jerry was catastrophically injured in an improvised explosive device blast. Now, Jerry received a new smart home thanks to our friends at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Now, the home is in the foundation's Let Us Do Good Village. It's in Florida, and Jerry now lives more independently thanks to the specially adaptive technologies. Commit to $11 a month, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Here we go. Stand by 403 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and the sound of incoming Neil Bortz. Hello, Neil Bortz from Points Unknown. What's going on? Welcome aboard, sir.
Oh, well, the dog's been watered and
excellent.
Yeah, all we have to wait for now is this device you all loaned me to quit.
Well, are you in the storm section right now, or how you dealing down? Are you okay?
Sunny skies.
Yeah,
sunny
good.
skies.
Okay. Good,
yeah,
good.
You know, in a wonderful RV resort, virtually on the edge of the Everglades.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, where we have pythons, black bears, mountain lions, and alligators.
Yes.
All 4 of them in this RV resort. Oh, and Karens.
Karen, you have Karens, do you?
Oh, yeah.
They're well, how's that working out? What do you mean?
Oh, well, mi primo esposa was a Karen.
Oh, your primary spokesman?
The first one. The first one. First wife.
I got you. I'm so sorry.
I'll never forget when she says, "Is New Mexico a state?"
Oh, boy.
And I said, "Oh, God, I got to find a way out of this thing."
Well, like Paul Simon said, there got to be at least 50 ways. I don't know. Make a new plan, Stan.
Let me see if Hannity responded to my tweet today. I don't know. Let's see. I just said, "So, after Tuesday, are you about ready to retire, buy a Prevost, and join us on the road?"
Oh, that would be so cute to have. Isn't he like your mentor? I mean, you keep. I think you said.
What?
What? Well, isn't that? I mean, you keep talking.
He is. Wait a minute.
Isn't he the smartest guy you ever knew, or something? It's that he helped you get your national.
He's mine.
Well, I that's what it sounds. You keep. I don't know. It sounded like.
What have you been smoking?
Well, no, I mean, I didn't know you were, that tight and that close. To keep, talking, bragging about it. So that's great.
We're very good. Yeah. We're very good friends, but I kicked his little uneducated butt in Atlanta when that chased him to New York, where he ended up making $40 million a year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So were you as disappointed in Trump Tuesday night as I was?
Honestly, Neil, I think he had such an easy job. I was proud of one thing. His facial expressions, he wasn't nut. He was very much disciplined. He had kind of a frown the whole time, but basically he wasn't jumping around like she was, where there's 50 different expressions and her chin on her little hand, like a little princess, all that kind of crap. So I was proud of him for that.
Cute?
Yeah, it was. Oh my
cute?
God, it's just offensive in every way. But yeah, you're right. He should have said to the moderators, "Okay, are you going to fact check her now, or do I have to about the fracking and about the abortions?" And every single time she put Trump on the defensive, and he fell for it. He should have said, "That's not the crowd size." I mean, in fact, he should have said, he said, "You're talking about size, Carmela? Gee, that's unusual. But let's talk about the issue of the size of the crowds coming across the border." Boom, stuff like that. He never did any of that.
Well, yeah, I am. There's 2 real villains here. I mean, Kamala was well briefed, and she followed her instructions.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
Including her hand on her chin. And
memorized all
these,
the... Absolutely. Theater.
But the ABC, Lindsay and Muir, they had their not instructions. They had their game plan to the very first question.
Yeah. Are we better off now than 4 years ago?
Yes. And she totally ignored that question and went off on some tangent about how fantastic Joe Biden and she have been over the last 3.5 years.
And she talked about a policy of the economy she wanted. Trump should have said, when they came to him and he said, wait a second, you never asked her to answer the question. What's the answer to the question? And then and then he'd gone into the differences then. And it was so simple and he blew it.
He could have taken control of the debate right there.
The first question.
He said, before I answer your first question to me, maybe you would like to ask Kamala to answer the first question you asked her.
Exactly.
If we don't have to answer the questions, let's get that settled right now, so I can go off on any tangent I want to, no matter what you ask me.
Yeah, it was a ball on a tee. It was sitting right there. Oh my God! It was sitting on a tee for him to knock it out of the park, and he didn't do it. I couldn't believe it.
But if there is any good news, it is that she has received, the last I checked, and remember, when you're talking to me, you always have to remember that my favorite book right now is what? Altogether, Kimmer?
I don't really give a, something like
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a
Yeah, exactly.
I can't say it.
I know you can't say it right now.
But she has not received a bump from this debate.
Yeah. Well,
now, if there is good news, that's the good news.
Well, although Neil, in this again, these polls keep doing the same thing. Fox News is all over the poll today that says their power ranking gives Carmela 341 delegates, electors, and Trump 219.
That may be true.
Well,
considering his performance, that's entirely possible.
Well, I thought they said the same thing about Hillary and brought on Peace Sticky Fart Cabbage back in 2016.
Well, now, can you imagine? I got to crawl into Hillary's head. What a dank, dark place that is to be. But she's sitting out there saying, with all of my accomplishments, with my service as Secretary of State, blah, 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 and I lost an election, and this unaccomplished multicultural
tramp
wench is going to do what I tried to do 4 years ago
without a single vote.
And that just must be horribly dismaying to Hillary Clinton, which of course I love.
Yeah, she'll probably have her killed. I'll bet you Hillary will probably have her killed. But it's possible.
Kimmer.
No, that's my own opinion. I wouldn't be surprised. If Carmela Side Piece actually wins this election, I would not be surprised if Hillary Rodham Peace Sticky Fart Cabbage doesn't have her killed. That's my own opinion. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm wondering if they're going to, maybe Hillary will say, look, Carmela. I'm sorry. Let's go have your victory party at the Davits. Is it the Davits Center in New York City, where I was going to have mine? Because what do they call it? But anyway,
Jacob Javits
Center.
Javits, yeah. Because Hillary said I had this coolest thing ready to go. It was going to be a representation of the glass ceiling of the Javits Center crashing.
Yeah. She had all the balloons and everything ready and all this stuff. Oh, we lost him. Did we lose him? What's the over and under on losing him? What's it, 4:11? So that was like, who had 7 minutes? Who had 7 minutes? Do we have a way? Hey, he's back, I think. You back?
Okay.
There we go. We have an over-under with 7 minutes, so I'm not sure who won the lottery, but we're back.
Well, listen, your equipment, it's not mine.
I didn't say anything. I don't care whose equipment it is. That's all I care is we're on the radio and having fun. I don't give a damn.
I sit here and I watch TV. I'm on the computer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It never a hiccup. Yeah. But then I use your equipment to go on the air with you.
That's right.
And every time...
Well,
there you go.
I guess that just says something about our no, it doesn't, of course, at all. It says we're a wonderful place and things happen.
Don and I watched something yesterday, 9/11.
Yeah.
And excuse me, it's sad that 9/11, the 23rd anniversary, was overshadowed by this debacle on Tuesday night. But there was something from National Geographic, and it was called A Day in America. And it was about 6 1.5 hour or 1 hour, 15-minute episodes. There's maybe more than 6. We watched it as many as we could, about minute by minute by minute on 9/11/2001.
Wow.
And the difference that they did here, that they've never done on any retrospective I've ever seen, they had so many personal stories that we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Never. And I want to tell you about one of them because it involves a real, by God, Marine. Okay?
Yes, sir.
They showed this guy. He was a really good-looking black guy, well-spoken, and he said, I just got out of the Marine Corps, and when I saw what happened, I put on my uniform. I don't care if that's legal or not. I put on my uniform and I went down there to Ground Zero. And I was going to help any way I could. And then they had this other guy who was a recovering drug addict that lived on the Upper West Side. And he said, well, I got a call from my sister, and she asked me if I was going down there to help. And he said, I had no intention of going down there to help. I wasn't going to go down. He said, but I wanted to tell my sister, yes, I'm going to go down there and help. So I did. I didn't intend to do a damn thing. I was just going to go down there so I could say that I was there. He teamed up with that Marine, and when the police officer said, don't go in there, go back, turn around, the Marine said, Marines don't go back. Marines don't turn around. And he and this guy went into that mess, and they ended up making the last rescue of people from the debris of the Twin Towers, and it was a New York City Port Authority police officer and a few other people that were with him. And there were so many personal stories like that in this series last night.
Yeah, I remember that story. I remember reading that story, and there was also Rick Riscal, I think was his name, was one of the heads of security for the big company that lost all the people.
Yes.
And he went back there, and he called his wife on the phone and said, I'm here, and I'm probably not going to make it. And, talk about heartbreaking. Holy crap. Rick Riscal, I believe was his name off the top of my memory.
I think that's right. Big, heavy-set guy.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, these one after another.
He died. He did not make it out. He did not make it out.
That guy did not make it out. Yeah. He was head of security for some firm, and he took it very seriously, and he said, I am not leaving this building until every employee of the firm I work for, every employee is safe and out of the building. And I don't know how many he got out, a lot of them, but he didn't make it. Yeah. And there were so many of these stories, and I'm sitting here, I tell you what, Kimmer, I'm getting madder and madder and madder. And, I just wanted to go out there and find a Muslim and punch him out. That's not a nice thing to say, is it?
Well, the thing we were talking about this yesterday, and, what could be such a horrible secret that they have still kept confidential the truth about the Saudi Arabians and the 9/11 attacks? What is it that's so bad? So people betrayed their country. God, that's not the first time that's ever happened, so why is it still a secret?
19, I think the number is 19.
Yeah, 19 hijackers.
19 of those hijackers are from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Not from Iran, not from Iraq, not from Iceland. They were from Saudi Arabia.
And this is all done by the royal family. There's no way that any of this happened without permission from the royal family, which concludes about 12,000 members, by the way. But still, this was all official. This wasn't just, like 19 guys said, hey, let's go attack America. Please.
No, there was some finances behind that, but listen, it was streaming on something. Hell, I don't know, YouTube TV. But I don't use DirecTV anymore. There's a satellite on the roof. You can come get it if you want it. I use YouTube TV. The one problem with YouTube TV is you have a home area. And if you leave that home area, they say, you're not in your home area anymore, and they cut you off. Oh, boy. And, boy, if you want to call somebody, there is not a working telephone anywhere in the YouTube TV offices. Really? There's not. They don't have.
It's all
you
digital,
cannot
man.
talk to them. Yeah.
No people.
But it's a day in America, and I just encourage people. I encourage people to watch that. Actually, I encourage people to take their snotty little teenagers and make them watch it. It was just incredible. It really was.
Yeah. In fact, I think that's a series. I remember the series, A Day in America, and it was basically just a day in the life of some community or a state or something, as I recall. I think that was a series that's been gone for some time, or at least used to be, if I'm not mistaken.
They took one incredible piece of footage that I had seen before. It was a European, I believe French, film crew that had come to America to do a feature on the New York Fire Department. And Kimmer, those firefighters in New York, they go through a training regimen that's damn near as tough as the one you went with. Where, Paris Island?
Paris Island, yeah.
Yeah. And they put them so they show this engine company, and they've been called out to a gas leak in Manhattan. And so this documentary film crew from France, I guess, they're showing these guys looking at this gas leak, and then all of a sudden you hear a jet airplane overhead, and the cameraman, thank you, sir, lifts up his camera, spots the jet airline, and films it. The first plane that hit the South Tower, I believe. And immediately all these firemen are, you got a lot of holy Obama and all that stuff coming out of them. Yeah. And they just jumped in the truck and headed down there.
Yeah.
And so
that's what they do.
It's just amazing. Hey, you still got the hots for Taylor Swift?
No, I never. Well, okay, two things. First of all, several years ago when I saw her first picture on an album, and her song was something about the song where she sings in the car, and the car singing song, whatever. And she had one about the Drew Somebody song and stuff. And I love those songs. And I remember telling my daughter, God, she's beautiful. I love it. And she said, Dad, she's 15. So, okay. So she used to be cute back when she was a teenager. She's a guy. She seen the feet on her? Oh, my God. No, I have no. I mean, I love a couple of. I love 3 of her songs. I don't like what she stands for, and frankly, I feel. I mean, I respect the fact that she's a billion-dollar corporation all by herself. I got to respect her for her talent and what she does and how she runs her whole freaking life. But other than that, politics, I don't think is going to have much effect on
Well, I like the quote that has shown up on the internet. Before you let Taylor Swift influence your vote, may I just remind you that 90% of her hit songs are about choosing the wrong person.
Yeah, Babylon Bee's been having a ball with Taylor Swift. The woman who can't make a good choice supports Carmela Saifi's.
Yeah. And who's her boyfriend? Some
the football, Travis Kelce,
jock sniffer. Yeah.
And he's a liberal. Apparently, he's all in favor of vaccinations and all kinds of stuff. So whatever. Happy for him. I don't care.
He is whatever he needs to be.
He's fine.
To keep discussing the Big Bang Theory.
Well, they're going to be fine.
With Taylor, with Taylor Swift. And the first song I ever heard her sing was called Our Song.
Yeah, Our Song. Yeah, that's one of the early ones.
Our Song is a slamming screen door.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's excellent. I really like that. And then from that point on, hearing her next efforts, I just lost interest.
Well, there's one about a country. Drew calls, and Drew, he's got a new girlfriend, and he doesn't pay attention to me. And it's a funny song. And then one about a country star. She loves some country singer who gets her all turned on. There's like 3 songs there of hers I like.
Anyway, it is absolutely frightening.
Yeah.
Frightening to know that we're going to have tens hundreds, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million or more teenage girls, 18 and over, who are going to vote for Kamala Harris just because Taylor Swift told them to.
Yep, this is going to be turnout. If Republicans stay home like they did in Georgia, well, voting that damn Herschel Walker, then we're screwed. And again, if Carmela wins, it means that everybody on the Democrat ticket also wins. Because when they vote for her, they're voting for all the other Democrats, state legislatures, governors, senators, congressmen. So if she wins, they all win, and we're screwed forever.
Well, just suggest in a state that they ought to get rid of straight party voting, that you have to vote for each candidate individually. Just suggest that. The laundromats will be so full of Democrats cleaning their panties that they'll run out of soap and water. Kimmer, it's a great time not to give a damn.
I know. When I get home at night, I say, boy, I put on Fox News and I say, I don't really want to watch more after all 12 hours of talking politics. Just weird. I mean, I can't wait for it to be done. Really, I'm.
Well, you know why I watch the news now?
Entertainment. See who
no, because David Dickey pays me to.
Well, there you go. That's a good reason.
I'm on the air live twice a week, and I do a commentary every morning. I'm going to have a hard time being relevant if I don't at least watch the news. Trust me. Yeah. I need that income. I'm a poor.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm a middle class retired dude down here.
Oh, you're like Carmela. Gee, you could be vice president. You're just a middle class guy,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's good.
I don't care if this bus costs more than most neighborhoods.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
So anyway, as long as the Dickey checks keep coming, I got to keep watching the news.
Well, I was saying the same thing myself a little while ago. Now that we apparently have a new program guy coming in. Have you heard about this? There's some new programmer, consultant or something around this whole the thing. So I don't know what's going on. But I told founder, don't let him in here. He knows better to come into here, I'm guessing. So anyway,
God, I hope it's not Bill Hendrick.
I don't. Well, I guarantee it's not somebody who's worked with me before. He wouldn't have taken the job.
Well, you know who he was, I believe, the president of Cox Radio.
I don't know that name even. I wouldn't know who that was.
Well, he was there. Well, I always thought he was a nice guy. I always enjoyed being around him and all that, but then he had to be nice to me. I had the ratings.
Well, there you are.
But anyway, it was he that decided that we can't let Bortz on the air anymore. We can't carry commentaries. He's just too old for our target audience.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, read between the lines, pal.
Look at the numbers, Betty.
So if he is your new programmer coming in there,
no, I don't
Kimmer,
think that. We don't.
Learn how to be a pin setter.
No, it's over. They're going to take one look at me and one listen and say, "Oh, we're going to make a change here." So,
no, I enjoy listening to you.
Well,
you know when I would not listen to you?
What?
When you had that orgasm at the beginning of every show.
Well, I'm not. Well, I don't remember.
I just could not. I turn off the radio and say, my God. What
you mean talking at 5 o'clock? Well, you weren't able to be quite as amused at Paris Island as I was, and have never forgotten it. So,
well, all that, yeah. And
by the way, I was one of 4 guys who got promoted as a squad leader in Paris Island. Came out with a stripe, by the way. I'm pretty damn proud of that, Mister.
Oh, that you should be typed. I didn't know that he gave those stripes to people that learned to type.
Oh, very funny. Yeah, I can tell you some stories one day if you want.
No, I love the Marine Corps. Oh. My dad was a Marine. He was a 6'7", 250-pound combat pilot.
How'd he get into a plane? They're not even allowed to be that tall.
Now, I cannot swear that this is true, okay? But he, at one point, when he retired, he was the commanding officer of a squadron of C-130s. When he was in Vietnam, he was flying AC-130 gunships. Now, you can fit in that cockpit.
Yeah.
But at one point, he was flying the Crusader. I cannot remember the F4U or F something like that.
I don't know this stuff.
And he was in a squadron with those, and they determined that he could not fly that jet because the ejection seat took up too much room in the cockpit.
Yeah,
you know what his solution was?
What? Get out the forget the cockpit.
Take out the damn ejector seat.
Just go with it. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, do I have time to tell you a dad story?
Flounder, you're running the control. Absolutely.
Okay, I was doing a remote broadcast to Texas A&M. Okay, I was doing it the remote. In a big lounge for the high rollers at Kyle Field, a football stadium, and the radio station people there, WTAW. It was my first radio station, and they were carrying my talk show. Watch the Aggies win, WTAW. So the manager came up to me and said, Neil, this is during a break. We have a guy here that really wants to talk to you on the air. I think you should put him on the air. So I did. Old guy.
Okay.
And he sat down. Neil, my name is so-and-so. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel, Marine Corps. And I just wanted to tell you about something that happened in Hawaii at one time during the war. We had this Corsair, I think he said it was a Corsair, come in for a landing. And the pilot botched the landing, or something was wrong with the runway, because we were landing on coral runways then.
Oh boy.
And so the plane flipped, it landed on its top, and it started smoking, and so we grabbed a bunch of shovels and got into a Jeep and headed out there. I said, shovels? Why shovels? He said, because we had to dig into that coral runway to get the pilot out of that airplane. If we tried to lift the airplane, the fuel tanks might rupture and all this kind of stuff.
Wow.
And he said, so we dug under the airplane, we got the pilot out, and when he did, he stood up, and then he kind of fell down again. He'd broken his ankle in the landing, and he looked at the guys. He said, well, boys, I guess this is the end of the war for me. And he said, that pilot was your father.
I'll be darned.
And at that point, I got teary-eyed and started crying on the air. Yeah.
I don't blame you.
That pilot was your father, Second Lieutenant Neil A. Bortz, Sr.
Outstanding.
And, of course, my father would, people like this, he would never, ever talk about anything that happened during World War II, Korea, or Vietnam, and he was combat pilot in all three of them.
Yeah. Well,
so that story's always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I only learned that years after he had passed.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know, though, and that must have been touching.
So how many of those gooks did you kill?
Well, I got there during the Tet Offensive of '68, Neil. So, you can joke about a typewriter. I was not carrying a typewriter when I was up on the 5th floor of a freaking balcony in the pitch flake freaking night, and helicopter gunships are going like that, and here they come. Okay? I mean, anyway, like we say, we really don't talk about it.
No, people won't talk about it.
Well, they hated us. We came home, and how many fights I got into for people in Arizona State when I got there in 1969, and grabbing an American flag when someone tried to burn a flag, and I beat the shit out of I beat the crap out of that guy. Flounder hit the thing there. I did a bad word.
No, anyway. You're allowed to say that.
Well, crap on, and if I should have killed him, I should have killed him.
Well, maybe he suffered long-term damage.
I guarantee you, he remembers me.
I love you. I love you.
Sorry,
I'm glad you did that. You know what I'd like to have right now to go visit some Iranians? A warthog.
Warthogs. I love that little plane. That's
I do too.
Little squared off little thing. Yeah, that's a cool little
if I was going to buy another airplane, it would be a warthog.
Yeah, I don't blame it. Neil Bortz right here. Hey, listen, hi to the missus. Big hug and kiss, and be careful out there. And next week we'll do it all again. Thank you, Neil. 4:30.
Don't get any on you.
I doubt that very much. 4:30 to repeat and Flounder at 106.3. Look out here.
You're
Atlanta Braves are down to the final few series of the regular season, and they need you at Truist Park when the Dodgers come to town, September 13th through the 16th, followed by the Mets, September 24th through the 26th. Fans can look forward to some great giveaways, including the kids' rubber shoe charms for the first 3,000 kids, and the City Connect replica jersey presented by Xfinity for the first 15,000 fans. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase tickets starting at $9. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Oh man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off. Or maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast's leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Always wanted to smoke a turkey but weren't sure how? We can teach you at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our October class will cover all the traditional barbecue meats: brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, and pork loin. And as a bonus, you'll learn smoked turkey with gravy so you can wow your guests for Thanksgiving dinner. Learning to cook the perfect barbecue is not a topic learned from a book. It takes hands-on instruction, the kind you get at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our classes are designed and taught by Grand Championship pros with real-life experience, competing, instructing, and catering barbecue events. A day-long class at Southern Thunder Barbecue School makes a fantastic gift. So do your loved ones a favor and tell them what you really want is the Barbecue with the Pros class, available now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Feeling the heat, Atlanta? Don't let it get you down. Stay cool with Carrier products from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Their Carrier systems are designed to help keep you comfortable even during the hottest days. With advanced cooling technology, you'll enjoy a refreshing home no matter how high the temperature rises. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Plus, their Carrier systems come with excellent warranties for added peace of mind. At Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they pride themselves on better service through knowledge. And right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new Carrier system. That's right, up to $2,000 off to ensure you stay cool all summer long. Turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com today.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air. You can go your own way.
Go your own way, baby. Fleetwood Mac.
You can call it thunder.
Although this is Stevie, 435. Stevie Nicks and Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac announced they're leaving the band on this day in 1990 at the end of the current tour. At the time, some believed that Nicks and McVie's departures were hastened by bad blood in the wake of Fleetwood's memoir, Fleetwood: My Life and Adventures in Fleetwood Mac by Fleetwood Mac. And weren't they all just having affairs with each other? And
they're married to each other. Yeah. And this is Lindsay. This is not Stevie.
Oh, I don't know who this is. Lindsey Buckingham. Yeah. All I know is Christine sings me home and calls me baby every night. I get in my car and she calls me baby. What?
Stevie was mad at Lindsay because there's a lyric in this song. He says, all you want to do is shack up.
Right.
She just thought that was just beneath her.
All you're doing is shacking up. And yeah. Oh, you'll go beneath her? Yeah. Beneath her, over her, around her, beside her. And, okie doke. Anyway, that's Fleetwood Mac, so that's a scoop. And our birthday list includes Rachel Ward. Rachel Ward was British or Australian or something. She was in Against All Odds. She was in Thornbirds, but I remember her from the great Steve Martin movie, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Have you ever seen that silly movie? And I forgot. In fact, I've got it on my DVR. I haven't watched it in 20 years, whatever came out. But Rachel Ward is 67. Rachel Ward was really, she was a knockout chick. Yeah. Brunette chick. Her hair was too short for me, but still, she was a knockout chick. And I remember one scene in Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid where I believe she's sleeping on a couch or something, and Steve Martin starts fondling her breasticles, and she wakes up while he's fondling her. For what reason, I don't remember. I think he actually had a reason or suffered. And she said, what are you doing? He said, well, they needed adjusting or something like that. They were off kilter, so they needed adjusting. Yeah, they were skewed. They were askance or something. I just brought them back. That's the one scene I remember.
They were akimbo.
That stupid movie. Anyway, Rachel Ward is 67 years old today. A little high. You could Google her and see whether you think she's a hottie too. Our birthday list. Oh no, we did a history list. Oh, this is cool. I put this on Facebook and YouTube. I did a little quick video. It was on this, it got some TV stuff for you. It was on this day in 1954. The original Lassie on TV with Jeff and Porky and Gramps was on TV. Remember, we talked about this not too long ago. The first version of Lassie on TV was the original one in 1954 on this day. And I put some video on showing me as a little boy when everybody told me I looked like Porky, who was Jeff's best friend. And whenever Jeff and Porky would go meet somewhere, before they got there, if they were going to meet someplace, you would hear one of them calling, "Eaki, Eaki," and that was their signal, and he would respond to it. And I kind of looked like Porky, and I just had kind of a chuckle laugh out of it. That show ran for 17 years, the original one with Jeff, not Timmy. 1963, Ward was a little hard on the Beaver for the last time. Yeah, says Leave It to Beaver went off the air after 6 years in 63. In 1966, Family Affair premiered on CBS. A little TV stuff for you there. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. And our 4 o'clock hour sponsored by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safe. And again, if you need a safe, you don't think you know it, but you do, keep your stuff in there, like my medical records that disappeared down in Florida. You know what I mean? Be better than the Kimmer. They have a showroom up in Ackworth and love for you to stop on Industrial Boulevard. And they're on the web. Check them out, atlantasafehouse.com. 439, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. The debate thing, here we go. In fact, let me get the latest story. I just got a message. I got to go back to my phone screen now. Where was it? Here we go. Donald Trump says he will not be doing another debate. No third debate. He did one with Carmela Sidepiece, did one with Biden. And he said an internal campaign poll showed his Democratic opponent got no polling bounce in key states. Trump did get a bounce. He says when a prize fighter loses a fight, the first words out of his mouth are, "I want a rematch." Trump says polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Carmela Harris, the Democrats' radical left candidate. After being a no-show at a pre-planned Fox News debate that President Biden negotiated, Harris also refused to do NBC or CBS debate against him, said Trump. There will be no third debate, referring to the one in June with Biden and the other a couple of nights ago. He said, we had our first debate. We owe it to the voters to have another debate, is what she posted and what she wants. Trump says we've done two, one against Biden, one against her. I did really well. We don't think there's any need for it. Debate polls, every single poll had us winning it. The Reuters focus group with undecided voters post-debate found 6 out of 10 favored Trump. Only 3 picked Harris. And so we'll see. Anyway, people are talking. Well, again, I'm not even sure what this means. Do you think anybody who was undecided and watched the debate Tuesday will have changed their mind.
CNN did that little group session afterwards, and the people basically said, you know what, this is a debate. That's great. Words are great.
Yeah.
But my life was better under Trump, and that's why I'm going to vote.
Again, as we mentioned with Bortz, Donald Trump missed every opportunity to just nail her on the flip-flops and answer the question, are you better off now? In fact, I was really impressed that they would ask that first question. That's a very tough question. That's a real anti-administration question.
Didn't let her answer it.
And she never answered it. And they never demanded How could you as all right, Pete Davis, you were a news guy. I mean, you're a journalist, you're a writer, flounder, you're in the freaking news radio business. How is it possible that they could say, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And she gave a word salad answer on policy she hoped for in the future. How is it possible that any decent journalist would have said, excuse me, the question is, do you think we're better off today than we were 4 years ago? Yes or no, and why? And what will you do about it? My God!
You've answered your own question. They're not decent journalists. David Muir is a pretty boy. He's the pretty boy on television telling you lies. That's his job. He's an actor.
And you know what?
Whoever that. And the one next to him was a sorority sister of Kamala. Did you know that?
Same sorority, same black sorority as Kamala's side piece. And here's another, for example, I thought about this again, another Trump thing. When they got to the issue about crime, you'll recall that Donald Trump said under her in the administration, crime's soaring, crime is outrageous, everything's immigrants, crime is horrible, and so on and so forth. And then David Muir said, well, Mr. President, as you know, the FBI says actually crime statistics are going down. And then Trump said, yeah, but there are other cities where they didn't include those major cities in the report, and then he dropped it. Here's the problem. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe that the FBI actually ignored statistics from Baltimore and Detroit and Chicago or something ridiculous like that they did not put those crime figures in the national report for whatever reason, make them look better, obviously, against the FBI. So Donald Trump should have done this. I remember reading those stats. This was like a long time. This was like a year ago or months ago, whatever this thing came out. And I remember reading the fact that critics were saying that there were several states or several cities rather, which were not included in the statistics, therefore fudging the figures. Donald Trump should have said to David Muir, David, let me ask you this. Are you telling me you did not read the same story that I did about the cities being left out of this crime report? Are you telling me that you are such a bad reporter that you can sit here and say the FBI released their figures, but you also did not read the other reports saying that they left out major cities? Are you telling me you never read those stories? You didn't know that information? Oh, you did know that information? Then why didn't you say it? Either way, he's screwed. Either way, pointing out these people are not professionals. They're in it for the cause of their freaking party. Advocacy journalism. It's unbelievable. And again, Trump, he let go of those things to nail every single time. He should have said, you're not going to do fact checking, so let me do it for you.
David Muir and that nameless woman that was beside him are in the club. And the club goes to all the fancy parties there in Manhattan and in the Hamptons and in L.A. and goes to Hollywood openings and stuff like that. They give each other jobs, careers, awards, trophies, pats on the back. It's the club, and none of them are going to do anything to get him kicked out of the club.
But you would think that you would have some self-respect or self-esteem to be. I mean, just a. I mean, how can you live with yourself seriously? In this, well, I mean, they're just...
when they get older, like a Bernard Goldberg, and they look around and go, wait a minute, what have we done here? Yeah. Then they'll start saying something, but right now they're living the high life.
Yeah, they're actors on TV. They're performers. Yeah. They're performers. They don't write those stories they're reading. They're actors. They're reading someone else's words. And they think they know the issues and the topics like they've ever looked at it. And by the way, Taylor Swift, somebody ought to ask her, hey, Taylor, how many years does a congressman serve? How many years does a senator serve? How many years does a governor serve? How many senators are there? How many congressmen are there? What are the three branches of government? I mean, just, name any three of the Bill of Rights. Go ahead, any three of the Bill of Rights. I mean, anyway, please. All right, 3:40, it's 4:45. I got to calm down here. 4:45. 25. And Linda Ronstadt's calling some rather vicious names about Donald Trump, too. That's coming. Also, Tay-Tay in the news and her boyfriend. And even Patrick Mahomes actually came out probably making more sense than anybody about this whole sports and politics and endorsement stuff coming up with that. Plus, Flounder's Funnies and more Pete's tweets, and we got it all with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Quarter 5 right here. Look out.
Time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Well, the widespread idea in the media is that Trump failed miserably at that debate on Tuesday night. I have this gnawing little feeling that if he had come up with a cure for cancer, they would still have declared the hyena the winner. But yesterday I found myself wishing that there had been a completely different important topic. And yes, here I go again, the fair tax. Believe me, I tried to get Trump involved on the fair tax. Either he couldn't grasp the concept or he didn't like it because it didn't belong to him. But I'm just going to ask you a few questions. How would you like life under the fair tax? How would you like not having to fill out any forms or save any records to satisfy the IRS gods every year? How would you like a system where corporate and business leaders could make decisions without having to consider the tax implications? How would you like the idea that you didn't have to pay one single penny to the federal government out of your earnings until you had taken care of your family's basic needs, including food and shelter? How would you like the idea that even though government was being funded by a national consumption tax, the price of the goods and services you buy would not rise? How would you like the idea that there had been a massive transfer of power from the federal government to the state governments? Can't tell you how much the government worshipers of the Democrat Party hated this idea, but they couldn't argue against it without rewriting it or lying about it. It's all there, the Fair Tax book. You can find it on Amazon.com, probably at a bargain price. That would be something for the candidates to debate, but not happening. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Fall is just around the corner, and with it comes unpredictable storms. Is your home's roof and siding ready to handle the weather? Southern Exteriors is your go-to for reliable roofing and siding solutions. Whether you need a new roof, repairs, or durable siding that stands up to the elements, Southern Exteriors is here to help. Plus, they're offering free estimates, 0% interest, and no payments for up to 6 months. So you can get the peace of mind you need before the storm hits. Call Southern Exteriors today, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or visit southernexteriors.co. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Intelligent technology that's more intuitive. Electrified power wrapped in sporty elegance. Meet the 2024 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. The leader of the pack with a sensual interior, the C300 sedan is a driver's delight and paradise for passengers. Experience the 2024 C300 sedan today. Lease one today for just $509 per month for 36 months with $4203 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. And visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through September 30th, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Kawasaki. As the sports seasons heat up, make sure your equipment runs like a pro with genuine Kawasaki parts from Howard Brothers. Whether you're tuning your outdoor gear or changing your machine's filters, Kawasaki parts deliver the performance and reliability you need to stay ahead of the game. This season, keep your machines running strong with Kawasaki parts, because in the game of maintenance, quality parts make all the difference. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Kawasaki and Howard Brothers.
Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. The Safe House crew hopes everyone is enjoying their vacation this summer. We know the criminals are watching and waiting for you to leave so they can bust in and steal your stuff. But hey, there is a solution. Come purchase a quality safe from Atlanta Safe House. And with summer rebates and specials, you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a quality safe. And remember, don't let an illegal or crackhead deliver or move your safe. They could very well know your combination. So drop by the showroom or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
There we go. Look out. It's a 451, man. 451. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder with Aerosmith. They released Pump on this day, 1989. Yeah, had the hit singles Love in an Elevator, The Other Side, and Janie's Got a Gun. Which one is this, Flounder? I have no idea what this is.
Take Me to the Other Side.
Take
this
Me
is
to
on the
Other
album. Other Side. I think it's called
The
Other Side.
The Other Side. Aerosmith found themselves in law school textbooks after a small rock band named Pump sued Aerosmith's management company for service mark infringement, and Aerosmith won the case, calling their album Pump and Screw the Little Guys. Oh, my God. 452. Our birthday list includes Jennifer Hudson, famous actress, American Idol loser, voice coach, and Best Supporting Actress winner for Dreamgirls. Jennifer Hudson's 43 years old today. And on this day in history, 1755, there really was a Casanova. His first name, Giacomo Casanova, Pisciaturi, Bacalà, Scustamato, yeah. I was married to an Italian. Oh, hey. Her mother was Parmi Chanfrini. And her dad was Gregorio Russo. So anyway, there really was a Casanova, 1755, first name Giacomo. He got 5 years in prison in Venice, quote, as an affront to religion and common decency.
He escaped, too.
And by the way, there was no trial. They didn't try him. They just said, you're going to prison for 5 years as an affront to religion and common decency, and put him in jail. They just did it. And I'm not sure. I don't remember how he...
he climbed through the top of the roof and climbed over the roof of the prison and escaped that way, or whether it was Venice or somewhere else. That's how he escaped through the top.
Yeah. Anyway, he apparently seduced 272 women. Although they said, of course, this is 1755, and the historians will say back then there really was not much of an issue of getting married for love. In 1755, you got married for all kinds of different reasons, help on the farm and stuff like that, and raise children. But it wasn't like a love and you'll be faithful to this. They were all just being kind of randy, apparently, and there weren't basically a lot of rules about it. So he didn't have a problem with it. But 272 women was his number, apparently. Pete, what's your number?
Sometimes you lay at night in bed, you got nothing
I try
to
to remember,
and you start, and then then you forget someone the next day. You go, oh my God, and you feel bad about it.
Yeah,
you forgot someone,
she was
and you don't remember a name.
She was important and special.
There's some I don't remember a name, and I feel bad about that.
Now I'm not going to ask Flounder because he's engaged.
Well, we all know Southside Steve's.
As he mentioned that public, I think
it's famous
like 1,000 or
419.
419, yeah. Yeah. Huh. Now, see, by the way, you never ask a girl, you never get in a discussion with this with a girl, because if she tells you, you'll never get over it. And two, she's going to lie. She's going to tell you maybe the number of serious boyfriends. Oh, like four guys for 20 years. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Right. I believe you, sweetie.
So you immediately start doing the math in your head. So you're averaging one every 5 years.
Yeah, okay, good. Anyway, Casanova, 1755. All right, there you go. 404-741-1230. Oh, new story in, and I've got it for you now. Oh, speaking of Vietnam, and by the way, don't forget, False Waltz is a phony warrior who pretended to carry a gun in war, which is a dirty, stinking lie. He's a coward and a yellow-bellied traitor, as far as I'm concerned. concerned, ditching his unit when they were going to go to war. But anyway, here's another one. Senator Danang Dick Blumenthal from Connecticut, the liberal Connecticut Democrat. Dick Blumenthal, Danang Dick Blumenthal, is a guy who lied about being in Vietnam. He said he always called himself a Vietnam veteran. Okay, a Vietnam veteran means you were in Vietnam. A Vietnam era veteran means you served during the Vietnam War. Okay, I mean it's a clear designation. And guys like Danang Dick Blumenthal wanted to be known as a warrior who served in war in Vietnam. He did not, and even when they caught him and corrected him, he still got caught saying it again at a later time. So he's a slime bag and a scumbag. But he's come out in public here concerning a new report on the assassination attempt against Donald Trump. The acting Secret Service director provided senators with an update today on the investigation and how they failed so badly. Danang Dick, the phony fruit ball, said, I think American people are going to be shocked, astonished, and appalled what we will report to them about the failures of the Secret Service. They ought to be appalled and astonished by the failure of the Department of Homeland Security. As candid and frank as we should be in terms of providing information, he didn't get into specifics today, but after the meeting, they refused to comment on how the public may react to the report. We need more information. We hope it comes out, get additional information. Wisconsin lawmaker Ron Johnson wants to make sure the public understands it'll be done in a bipartisan fashion. There's frustration. He said, we're hoping to get the preliminary report out. Apparently the Democrats want to hide it. Security communications.
That's amazing that Blumenthal came out and said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It must be really bad.
It's got to be horrible. I mean, I wonder whether there's some conspiracy stuff. I mean, it sounds to me like there were some deliberate things maybe, or, I mean,
it's
just
got to be out
woefully.
before the election, too.
Yeah,
We need to know before the election.
That's right. Well, we got what? Oh, my God. We've got
not much.
6 weeks?
No, more than that.
Well, wait a minute now. October, November. We got 7 weeks.
At least 7.
Holy cow. Anyway, 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. 457, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Holy crap, it's sports coming up. And by the way, Shannon Burke at 5 o'clock. But first, a little Flounder's Funnies for you here, sir.
I'm afraid of robots. Yeah. I saw one get interviewed on 60 Minutes, the top journalistic program in the United States. And he's just sitting there getting interviewed, not nervous at all, just rattling off all the answers, not smoking, not leaking oil, whatever you would do as a nervous robot, right? And the reporter's asking him questions, and in the end he goes, so tell us, he's like, what are your goals? And I am alone in a hotel room, and I literally lean towards the TV. I'm like, these things have goals? And the robot just answers. He just goes, he goes, well, what are your goals? And the robot goes, to become smarter than human beings. Yeah. And the reporter just blows by it. He's like, okay, and what's your favorite color? Meanwhile, I'm standing on my bed yelling at the TV like, dude, unplug that thing! Take the batteries out! Pull the wires out! Do something! How many sci-fi movies do you have to see before you realize where this is going?
Where you realize this is going. Bill Burr. Oh, mercy. Very funny guy. 4. By the way, I look at the bottom freaking clock. It's got 4:59, 9:59, 11:59, and 3:59. And when I look up at the thing, the bottom number is the first one I see, of course, going from bottom to top because I'm looking up, and it's 3:59, but it's actually 4:59, which is almost 5 o'clock, which means almost holy crap at sports. While we tell you also that Linda Ronstadt has made it very clear that as an Arizona native and a native of her hometown is Tucson, she is now upset that Donald Trump is returning to Arizona for the campaign event today, and she calls Donald Trump a rapist. Coming up, more news. 5 o'clock, Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Thursday, Shannon Burke is next. Look out.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
It sounds like a celebration. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
That's right.
Those USA chants at a rally for Vice President Kamala Harris in Charlotte, one of two she's holding today in North Carolina.
We are loving our campaign, aren't we? We are loving this campaign. We're having a good time. We're having a good time. I know that.
But she's warning supporters the race will be tight until the end. She's taken the lead in the Fox News power rankings after North Carolina and Georgia shifted from lean Republican to toss-up states. Harris also just said voters deserve a second debate between her and former President Trump, who's been claiming victory in Tuesday's face-off, and after also debating President Biden in June, now says there will not be a third debate. He is about to hold a rally in Arizona.
Fox Digital reports the Democratic National Committee had planned to troll the former president here in Tucson with a newly released campaign video to be played on a mobile billboard just outside this event center. The topic, her debate comments on his rallies.
Fox's Alicia Acuna in Tucson, where there were long lines to get in. 2 criminal counts against the former president are dismissed in the Georgia election interference case. A Fulton County judge ruling that prosecutors didn't have the proper authority for those charges related to filing false documents, but that the other charges stand against multiple defendants, including Trump, accused of scheming to overturn 2020 election results. Attorney General Merrick Garland defending the Justice Department from claims of weaponization.
Our norms are a promise that we will not allow this department to be used as a political weapon.
In a speech to the DOJ workforce and an annual conference of federal prosecutors, saying they fiercely protect the department's independence. America is listening to Fox News.
NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's tragic story made national headlines this year. Now, Jonathan was shot and killed by a career criminal during a traffic stop. Jonathan, who is just 31 years old, leaves behind his wife, Stephanie, and 1-year-old son, Ryan. Now, nothing will ever replace the loss of a husband and a father, but the Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to pay off the mortgage on the Diller family's home. Please commit to $11 a month. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on your dog, target. Help, I feel first one over here. Help, road guards out. Help, I feel look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. And as we switch to Man Country Radio in Florida, USA, and a herp and a hope and a 504, and Shannon Burke is, no, he's not quite ready to go with us at the moment, but he's almost ready to get Shannon. Well, we're going to get Shannon Burke here in a second. And our number, by the way, if you'd like to join us, you can call in and talk to Shannon. Why not? 404-741-1230. It's Man Country. It's Florida. It's Shannon Burke. Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?
Gentlemen, how are you today?
We're on the right side of the grass. What's going on?
Well, we are just overcoming some earlier technical stuff here, but we're back in the game.
Excellent.
I don't know. Let's talk about the debate. Anybody?
Oh,
you got
boy.
anything? What do you think?
Well,
was there a winner or a loser?
Well, anybody who's going to vote for either candidate obviously is not changing their mind based on the debate. I'm not sure whether people. The word I got was that the only negative for the for Vice President's side piece was that the people, younger voters, want to know more about what she's actually going to do. That's a good sign, because if they don't know what she's going to do, then they, why would they vote for her if they're going to be hurt by it? Anyway, I'm not sure. Now they're saying that the power polls show that Trump's getting creamed, that she has 319 delegates if it were today, or 340 delegates. He has 219 or something. And I don't know. I can't believe it. I can't believe anybody takes this woman seriously.
No.
And Trump blew it. I mean, he had the opportunity to nail her time after time after time, and he didn't do it. He let it go.
Like every Trump debate that he's involved in, he's never, I think only once has he had anybody you could consider a friendly or at least an unbiased moderator. These people were out to get him.
Oh, it's horrible.
They do, the fact check after fact check, and so many, I mean, they let her get away with so many lies.
The first question.
The first question wasn't answered.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sad. I mean, you think the average viewer realizes?
No, I think the average viewer was probably saying, "Oh, well, Trump tried to get away with it again." And the problem, the biggest problem I had, Shannon, was that Donald Trump let her put him on the defensive. Every time she had an answer, she would say, "And I'll have the economy that's going so well, unlike my predecessor here, who is responsible for the 2025 project and is going to make sure that he's going to shut down everybody in America." And Trump said, "Oh yeah, what about the size of your crowd?" I mean, it's just
the crowd, rally size. They triggered him.
She got to him. He should, when she talked about the size of his rally, he should have said, "Gee, Carmela, so if you're so infatuated with size, I'd rather talk about the size of the crowds coming across the border." So
right.
They were setting it up for him, and he just couldn't pull it off. They got flabbergasted on him. It was bad for him.
Yeah. I don't see big swings in the polls, and I know that I've just heard, like I'm sure you guys, that he's not going to do another debate. Yeah. I think that's a bad move.
I think it is too.
I think he should do another debate and demand it where the location demand that he gets to choose the moderators and play hardball with her that way.
Well, she's never going to go on Fox, and even if he were to say to her, "Okay, let's do one more, but I get to pick a commentator and you get to pick a commentator," and so at least that he could pick somebody from somewhere who's going to ask the tough follow-up questions. That's what they didn't do to her. They never asked to follow. They never made her answer yes or no and just find why she changed her opinion from one to the other. She never said. She just said it's the best plan. Well, then why did you change if it wasn't the best plan before? What made it the best plan now?
It's there wasn't any policy talk. Again,
word salad.
Trump brought up the fact that she's copied and pasted, and maybe that's it. Maybe she doesn't need to talk about her personal policies because she's going to ride the coattails of disaster of Biden's.
They're making a movie. I mean, they're literally just making a presentation of her as though she should be the leader of the free world. And I'll bet you she will not hold a news conference. No. I'll bet she's going to get away with. Can you imagine someone running for president who refuses?
I don't know of a single homeless Haitian in this town.
No, that's okay. Can you imagine a presidential candidate who refuses to have a no holds barred, stand at the podium, answer questions news conference?
No,
it's unbelievable.
Listen, this is going to become the new normal. Your votes, Democratic votes during the primary, will never count. They haven't counted in the last 15 years in presidential primaries. In the last 3 elections, they just don't matter. They choose their candidate. They put them into place, and they don't need to say anything about their policies. They keep them hidden. They keep them away. And if you notice, the last 2 have some very pronounced mental issues. I mean, I'm not talking that they're, one is in cognitive decline, and the other one's got some weird issue where she laughs uncontrollably at the most inopportune times.
Yeah. Well, it was that racist Clyburn from South Carolina who hates white people who put Biden in there by determining who was going to be able to run against him, and then they performed a coup against Biden to get her in there who never got a vote. I mean, this is the Democrat Party, and I can't believe that people aren't concerned about this. I mean, they performed a coup against their own president, for God's sakes, and made him lie about how much he was doing this for the team. My ass, he was doing this for his country. He hates everybody who made this and do this. I mean, God. These scumbags.
I never thought in my life I would hear Dick Cheney endorse a Democrat, and then hear the Democrats so gloriously celebrate the happiness and joy they have in the war criminal, they used to call him.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, They love him now. She's bragging that Dick Cheney endorsed her.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, Shannon, some historian's going to have a ball with this last 8-10 year period.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, we've never had a thing. Even Tammany Hall, or back in the Civil War days when they were in the 1900 earlys when they were picking a president based on the power brokers and the Vanderbilts and those guys. I mean, this is way different than anything this country's ever had. Any country's ever had.
We live in a world now where Dick Cheney and Taylor Swift are politically aligned.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, something else. You think it's a lost cause at this point? Like there's nothing, like she's going to run away with it?
No. I think he's good. I think Trump's going to win. I still think that. I just wish that he would be. I wish he'd run I can't. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I wish if she would hold a news conference, then she would be outed. But of course, she's never going to do that because she would be outed.
Right. Right. She's slightly losing it today. When she was in North Carolina, she caught herself busting into the uncontrollable laugh at a bad time. Yeah. But she's got more visible celebrities on her side, and she's bragging about George W. Bush and H.W. people that worked for them, all endorsed her. 200 Republicans. I don't know. It doesn't look good.
But again, all she's doing is cheerleading. She's saying, we're going to win. We have all the people. It's going to be so great. And then she's going, oh, boy. And they're all yelling. I mean, again, it's like a freaking 8th grade girl running for student council saying we're all going to get pizza on Fridays. And you've got a sticker for your car. The girls get free pom-poms on the cheerleading squad. Let's all vote for me. I mean, it's unbelievable.
What do you think about the Haitian issue and how it's just rocketed to the top of the news in Springfield, Ohio?
All of a sudden now there was live coverage of a Springfield, Ohio City Council meeting and stuff on this. And again, the issue is not strictly eating ducks at the pond for the Haitian stuff. The issue is that they put 20,000 Haitians in a town of 50,000 people and can't take care of the situation that they caused. I mean, the issue is the government allowing this to happen, thinking they're doing the right thing to help the economy when it turned out to be exactly the opposite. And it goes to show. And again, my understanding, I heard this yesterday, Shannon, that when these Haitians, of course, don't have driver's licenses, they don't know how to drive, and when they get in an accident, which is happening every day, several times a day in this little tiny town, when they get into a wreck, they just let them keep the car and go home. They don't impound the car because they're not part of the system. Right. So they just let them keep going. I mean,
they have no license plate. They don't understand registration. They don't get insurance. They get a couple of bucks, buy a used car, and I've seen the videos. It's insane. It's like a bunch of 11-year-olds got cars all of a sudden.
And again, they think again, it's Democrats thinking they're trying to do something really good for other people because it's what we should be doing without thinking of what the hell they're up to.
It's toxic compassion.
Ooh,
that's
I like
a great phrase.
That's a great phrase. But you're exactly right. It's toxic compassion. To the tune of 300,000.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Go ahead. What do you?
I don't know. Pete just
said good night, everybody. I was doing my George Costanza. I said something good.
That's like George Costanza. Time to leave now.
Pete, I want to hear your take on Shannon Sharp, his big mistake, his boo-boo, his admission, and I don't know that he's been fired. There's word on the street that he may or may not have been. Did you see his conversation with Ocho Cinco?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, and I agree with Ocho Cinco. He needs to work on the cardio. There was some heavy breathing going on there. The hip movement was okay, but the heavy breathing, man, we got to work on that.
And who's this Michelle? Yeah,
right.
They're not firing him, by the way. They're not even going to suspend him.
Really? That's not his fault. It was an accident. He was just being a man, and we do need to know who Michelle is.
He'll get more people watching and listening now than he ever had before.
He sounds like somebody we know. He says he blames it on the fact he knows nothing about technology.
Yeah, well.
He didn't even know Instagram went live.
Well, you're supposed to figure it out if nobody ever told you.
Well, it's certainly a nice blip in the news, to get a little bit of something to laugh at,
Yeah, that's true. Not for that girl Michelle. Holy moly!
Every Michelle on his Instagram is now getting hammered by the press right now.
Not me. Michelle Tafoya, Michelle. There's one after another.
Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama. Michelle Beadle already came out and said, "It ain't me."
Yeah, I think it was Michelle Obama, probably. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised because it's a gay thing, isn't it? That's what I heard.
I don't think it's a gay thing.
No, isn't that Shaq? Who's the gay one that we just found out about? Isn't there some Miami former basketball player who's actually done gay sex?
Dwight Howard has some.
Oh, he's done gay stuff.
He's got some issues,
proclivities,
I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
To each his own,
I'm
right?
happy for him. He's whatever he wants. We don't
happy for him.
No, seriously. I don't. I mean, people in this business, we don't give a damn about. I mean, you do what I don't. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I want to get your take on SpaceX history today and the warning from the FCC about that little Starlink company.
Well, I did try to. When I work at home before I come in. I was watching the video live shot of the space thing, and all I ever saw was a guy halfway out of the hatch.
Yeah, I think that technically, if half your body's out, it's considered a spacewalk.
That's not a spacewalk, but a spacewalk is when you leave the freaking capsule and you're all alone in space with a little rocket pack or something.
Space lounge.
And and you gotta shing shoong and do the little space pack so you can go back into the thing. That's a spacewalk. They didn't do any spacewalk. And by the way, so let me get this straight. So if I have $17 billion and I'm willing to spend $2 or $3 billion to this company, they'll put me up in space and I can do a fake spacewalk. Well, boy, I'm really so happy about that. Again, is this good for technology or was this just a stunt?
Well, it's good to get other people involved.
What did it prove?
That if you've got a few $1 billion, you can stick your head out of a sunroof of a spaceship.
Oh, then it was worth it. Oh,
you're going to rely on the government to do it then because we're not doing anything. The Chinese have passed us.
Well, that's the other point. Is if the government can't get him back down, they're going to have to rely on Elon Musk or somebody to go get him.
They got to pick up the hotline and call him up.
Yeah.
And around this time, FCC gives a warning to Elon about Starlink is you guys are headed towards a monopoly here, and they're like, well, get someone else to put some satellites.
It's not. Why is that his fault that nobody else is doing it?
I know.
Somebody else do it.
There's HughesNet. There's two or three others I could use up
what a
here.
bunch of crap. Yeah, go punch him in the face.
Well, they say because he's got 7,000 Starlink satellites in space right now.
Good for him.
And he believes that I'm all for it. He says that Starlink will probably deliver 90% of all space-based internet traffic next year. Get someone else. The guy owns a rocket company and a satellite company for internet. I mean,
but it's not like what the computer people did, where they made sure that only their computers would link into other people's systems, so that therefore other companies couldn't get into the links they had. I forgot what how they did their whatever. But he's not preventing anybody else from doing what he's doing. It's not like he's cutting out his competition. Right. There is no competition. Nobody else is trying to compete against him. So how's that possibly his fault as a monopoly?
I don't see HughesNet launching stuff every other Thursday to put 80 satellites a launch up in the air.
Well, it's like me, complaining to the federal government that damn Elon Musk is not allowing me to go up and do my own space link. Damn it, I can't do it. So why the hell can I can't do it? He's not allowing me to be a space.
They say, Mr. Kimmer, do you have a spaceship?
No, of course not. But I might want to. What if I did want to have one? I mean, come on. Jeez, these freaking people got nothing else to do. I mean, that's what they're doing now. They're going after Elon Musk and they're going after space people.
Yeah.
Because they're jealous and they can't do it and they're incompetent.
Jeez.
Yes, they are incompetent. And NASA's, I'm not saying NASA's incompetent, but they're running out of money real quick. And, and they've had a good thing Elon's around with a couple of extra rockets that he could go up and rescue our astronauts from when Boeing's thing pops a leak.
Elon,
NASA cares more about pronouns now than they do going to space.
And Elon Musk at one day is going to be looked back upon in history as a huge impact on the future of mankind.
Right. And he's, I don't know that he's completely saved free speech yet. But he is doing more than his fair share to say free speech. And free speech doesn't come up once in this election. I mean, Trump brings it up at rallies, but why is it up there with immigration and the economy?
I know. Well, again, he's not even doing the preliminary. I can't believe he's not doing another debate. There's, Donald Trump's problem is that there's nobody he trusts enough to grab him by the neck and say, Donald, you're being a freaking idiot. Okay, you're going to win this, but here's how you're going to do it. Stop being a freaking goof. And when she gives you an opportunity laying up like a freaking ball on a tee, knock it out of the park. Yeah. But he doesn't trust anybody enough to tell him to shut the hell up when he's talking about size and things like that, and get to the point.
Are we entering into an era where a candidate's policies have no weight whatsoever in whether or not you're going to vote for them? You're just going to vote for them because they are the Democrat or they are the Republican, because that's the way we're headed.
I'm hoping this is temporary because of the vicious division because of Donald Trump. Remember, all this hate toward this political division between George Floyd and Donald Trump. The country's been split in half. And it was Putty-Tat who started the racial division in this country. And then it carried over when Donald Trump came down that freaking escalator. And now people hate each other because of the division of it. And I'm hoping that after maybe the next 4-8 years, that there'll be some kind of a sensible melting and meshing of what we used to be in America, where we all cared about our country, but we had different ways of showing it or something. This is outrageous. What's going on here? Remember this dirty, slimy president we have in office now, the most hate speaker in American history. He has deliberately called half the country white supremacist and racist and a danger to democracy. No one in this country's history in a point of leadership has ever done that to his country before, like this guy. So I'm hoping that kind of thing will end. But they keep saying it. She did it all the time. She's all the bag of deplorables. She was saying the same stuff that Hillary was saying.
Ellie Mistel did it this morning. Yeah. That he's really awful, and that because of that, everyone who supports Donald Trump are all despicable people.
Yeah.
Despicable.
Despicable is a new word now. I heard that like 8 times in a montage this morning. A Democrat.
It's a new political term.
Yeah,
despicable.
So lack of gravitas is at least.
Okay, we're going to talk to you guys. Thank you very much,
Shannon Burke.
Flounder. You guys be good.
All right, man. Have a great one. Be careful out there. Shannon Burke, down in Florida, 521. Our 5 o'clock hour brought to you by Lee Brandt Jewelers. Luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. Tell them we sent you. 521. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves have the day off before beginning the 4-game series in Truist Park against the L.A. Shoheis Friday night. The 2-3 Landon Maisharona for the Dodgers against the 5-7 Spencer Schwellenbach.
Oh.
Last night, they dropped the finale of the 2-game set against the Nationals 5-1 up in D.C. Jorge Soler's RBI double to score Michael Harris, the only Atlanta run. Max Fried falls to 9-9, 6 innings, 11 hits, 4 earned runs. Bravo's now a full game behind the Mets for the final wild card spot. As yesterday, New York was being no-hit into the 9th inning in Toronto before Francisco Lindor hit a game-tying home run. The Metropolitans went on to win the game. And by the way, it's the second time in the last 2 weeks or so that poor pitcher for the Blue Jays had a no-hitter into the 9th and lost.
Man. Brutal.
He's like Dave Stieb, the former Blue Jays.
I remember that.
2 or 3. Yeah, that's good. Travis d'Arnaud will be back from the paternity list for the Dodgers series. Chadwick Tromp sent down to Gwinnett. AtlantaFalcons.com has the Falcons rated 24th out of 32 NFL teams in their power rankings this week. These are their own people saying this.
Yeah.
The PFF grading of players are out. 2 Falcons linebackers made the list. Nate Landman ranked 4th, Troy Anderson 12th. And Zach Robinson, the offensive coach for the Falcons, said, well, we knew about that TJ Watt. We had a chip block all ready for him, and we just didn't execute it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he went over your chip block like it was an anthill.
Yeah, you did.
Basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Please. Shannon Sharp has come clean about his alleged hacked sex tape on the Instagram, showing him having bedroom acrobatics with a woman named Michelle. Shannon now says he was not hacked, but the 56-year-old mistakenly live streamed his sex session to his 3.2 million followers. The former tight end admitted this on a podcast he does with former NFL receiver Chad Johnson. After watching the video, Johnson has some advice for Shannon, saying, what we do, we got to work on this. Ain't nothing wrong with your hips, but we got to work on your cardio because you was breathing heavily. Sharp blames the accident as a result of his lack of technological knowledge. I threw my phone on the bed, engaged in an activity. I did not know IG was live. I've never turned IG live on, so I don't know how it works. And all of a sudden, my other phone started going off, which wasn't the only thing going off in that bed.
Apparently.
A member of his team finally got it shut off. I bet you, did they have to run into the room and grab his phone? Excuse me. Hold on a second. 73 people tried calling him. He had 73 missed calls. A dude Shannon says he's embarrassed for her, and he will now have no relations until he leaves his phone in the car.
Oh,
so he's going to leave the phone in the car. And he may even get a flip phone.
Yeah, I may go back to. I love those old flip phones, to be honest with you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Sharp was not on his ESPN show this morning. ESPN says it will not discipline him. Jason Whitlock making fun of it. He basically tweeted a few minutes ago, I accidentally put my lunch date on my IG, and it shows him eating like a massive Wendy's meal, basically.
He's a funny guy.
Speaking of meals, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl has already sold out their tickets for the first college football playoff quarterfinal game.
Wow.
The earliest sellout of a non-semifinal game for the bowl in the college football playoff era. They always do a great job with that. They're the best. They're getting that thing organized.
Yes, sir.
The Longhorns have reached into Georgia and stolen one of the top 3 safeties in the 2026 class. Zealous Hicks out of Carrollton High School, who are 4-0 this season. Hicks listed 6'2", 190 pounds. On the 24/7 Sports Composite, he's rated 5 stars, the number 3 safety, and number 5 player in the Peach State, and number 25 prospect overall in the 26th class.
Wow.
So right under Georgia and Georgia Tech's nose.
That's not good.
Texas comes in. SEC Network's Paul Feinbaum is not mincing words when it comes to Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze. Quote, his demeanor isn't great either. I mean, I've been around Hugh Freeze once or twice down there, and he doesn't really look like he wants to be there. I know this sounds like a bold statement, but I mean it. There's something going on with him. At least act like you want the job. Show some emotion. That's my impression of being around Hugh Freeze, end quote.
Wow. What do you suppose that's all about, I wonder?
Maybe having to deal with the Auburn boosters? I don't know. We all knew Hugh Freeze would have left Ole Miss for the Tennessee job. Tennessee was allegedly his dream job. Yeah. So maybe he's thinking, gosh, I should have waited for that. But that's going to be a while because Heupel's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So the Seminoles just can't catch a break. A 1-second video on social media shows an assistant coach chasing a player and squirting him with a super soaker water gun as the player is trying to catch a football, which sounds like a drill to make the receiver focus when you're catching the ball.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not a bad plan.
Yeah.
But fans aren't seeing it that way. And once again, FSU is being viciously trolled on the internet. One tweet said, there's a 10% chance of rain in Tallahassee this weekend. How's this going to stop Memphis from running the ball down your throat?
That's social media.
Well,
you got to find something.
It's pretty sad when Florida State fans are concerned with playing at home against the mighty Tigers of Memphis. Boy.
Memphis Tigers.
There was a time they wouldn't even give them a second thought.
Wow.
And they're back.
Uh-oh.
The Pac-12 is rising from the ashes after most of their teams up and bolted for the Big Ten. Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, go Aztecs, and Fresno State will join the Pac-12 in the 2026 academic year.
Okay.
I like how they use the term academic for Fresno State. But anyway,
football,
the Pac-12 Board of Directors unanimously approved applications from the 4 Mountain West schools who will join Oregon State and Washington State, the conference's 2 remaining schools, which by my count makes them the Pac-6 or Pac-8,
Think
something
so,
like that.
yeah.
Used to be the Pac-8, so we could deal with that.
Okay.
Now, this comes as quite a shock to the Mountain West Conference, who say they will have more to say about this in the coming days. Can you say lawsuit, my friend?
I mean, good grief.
Now we turn to the madcap world of soccer. Racism has gotten so bad in Spain that FIFA is setting their foot down. La Liga and the Spanish Football Federation have agreed to introduce FIFA's new no racism gesture for referees. That'll stop it. It's going to be used by the officials to signal that a racist incident has been reported. And you know what the gesture is?
I was going to ask you, what in the world would be the gesture that a referee on the field would have to show for people to think that somebody was being racist? Like a hangman's noose, doing like this, like putting as though you're having a necktie up above, or maybe?
This is why you should be part of the YouTube Mafia, because you're watching us right now. Here is the gesture.
Oh, please, folding your arms in front of your chest? And
crossing your arms in your chest. No. There was another European of Latin descent famous for using the cross-arm gesture, and you mentioned him earlier in the show. Il Duce.
Oh, Mussolini. Yeah,
Mussolini was famous for doing that.
I remember that, Joe. Oh, my God.
Who was kind of a racist. He invaded Ethiopia because it would be easy, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
The Ethiopians were kicking their butt to the Germans, said, okay, enough of that. But anyway, they're going to have gesturing referees to stop racism.
God. And how's that? What does that mean? What does that mean? The crowd suddenly has to stop shouting, eat a banana or something?
If it keeps up, they will send the teams to the locker rooms, and if they bring them out and it starts up again, they will forfeit the game.
I'll be darned. Well,
so there will be something. Another reason no one will miss Skip Bayless, the former FS1 host, says he never praised how good Caitlin Clark was because, quote, I felt guilty saying so on TV or on social media. I did not want to look like this red state white guy cheering for this red state white girl, end quote.
Well, what's that got to do with anything? Be a man and say what you think and feel. That's your freaking job.
He's not a man. White guilt is as dangerous and stupid as Trump derangement syndrome, and Skip Bayless is the poster child of white guilt and the stupidness that goes along with it. Today in history, September 12, 1988, Atlanta's Dale Murphy drove in his 1,000th career run and a loss to Los Angeles, but Dale Murphy got his 1,000, so very good for him. Their sports.
Well, not quite yet, sir. Freddie Freeman's birthday, 35 years old today. Freddie. And Flounder, do you want to take a break? I got like 3 sports history things.
You got time.
You want me to do it here?
Go for it.
Okay. And a couple of birthdays to Andrew Luck, his 35 Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, not into social media. He inspired Captain Andrew Luck Twitter account in the voice of a Civil War soldier writing to his mother about battles. Anyway, Andrew Luck, 35. And Yao Ming, 44, the retired Chinese center for the Houston Rockets, 7 feet 6 inches tall. And on this day in 1930 would never happen again in Major League Baseball. Brooklyn catcher Al Lopez, on this day in 1930, hits the Major League's last bounce home run. It hit the field, bounced over the wall, and was a home run until they changed the rules, saying no, that no longer is a home run. 1930 and 1911, no one would guess it at the time, but it was a special game. Pitcher Cy Young of the Boston Rustlers and Christy Mathewson of the Giants met for the last time. These two superhero Hall of Famers. Mathewson took the victory 11-2.
Can I add one here?
Please do.
1964, Milwaukee's County Stadium, Braves lefty Denny LeMaster threw a one-hitter, beating the Reds and Jim Maloney. I mentioned this because I played ball with his son, Dennis LeMaster, at Glenwood Hills.
I'll be darned. Really outstanding. Was he a good kid? Was probably a good player too, huh?
Oh yeah, he was good.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Pete Davis, Holy Crap of Sports, 532. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. So much more coming up too.
XTRA 106.3 is the only station in Atlanta to bring you unedited news, information, and updates. With an all-star lineup of local and network voices, XTRA is committed to being the station you need during the biggest election of our lifetime.
This presidential election is unlike any other.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is XTRA 106.3 FM, and listen across Georgia on the XTRA app.
My fellow Americans, our yards are in troubled times. Unwanted weeds are crossing fence lines across our great nation, and we need to put a stop to it. No more college football Saturdays spent mowing the lawn. No, sir. Let's turf it with ultra-premium artificial grass from ATL Turf Co. They're Atlanta and North Georgia's first choice for premium turf solutions, from incredible lawns to custom putting greens. Let's make your yard great again with a free consultation at atlturfco.com.
Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Always wanted to smoke a turkey but weren't sure how? We can teach you at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our October class will cover all the traditional barbecue meats: brisket, pulled pork, ribs, chicken, and pork loin. And as a bonus, you'll learn smoked turkey with gravy so you can wow your guests for Thanksgiving dinner. Learning to cook the perfect barbecue is not a topic learned from a book. It takes hands-on instruction, the kind you get at Southern Thunder Barbecue School. Our classes are designed and taught by Grand Championship pros with real-life experience, competing, instructing, and catering barbecue events. A day-long class at Southern Thunder Barbecue School makes a fantastic gift. So do your loved ones a favor and tell them what you really want is the Barbecue with the Pros class, available now at SouthernThunderBBQ.com. That's SouthernThunderBBQ.com.
Are you looking for something simple but delicious, sweet but also savory? Discover Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. Schumann Farms is a third-generation family farm with the Real Sweet brand and Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions. Each brand brings savory, sweet deliciousness to every meal. Whether you're grilling, sautéing, or simply adding a fresh crunch to your salad, Schumann Farms has you covered. Look for Schumann Farms Real Sweet brand and your Mr. Buck's brand sweet onions at your grocery store and taste the difference for yourself. Schumann Farms, the Georgia family farm growing tradition and the world's sweetest onions.
Have you heard about Sonder and their Georgia-based Medicare Advantage health plans? Sonder Health Plans is committed to revolutionizing healthcare, making it straightforward, personal, and affordable. Call them and ask if you qualify for their fantastic $400 grocery card offer and $0 premiums. They've even got their own radio show and podcast called Weekend Wellness, dedicated to keeping all Georgians healthy and happy at every age. Call 800-331-2928 or visit SonderHealthPlans.com. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
If you notice any cracks in your foundation, they are not going to go away. They need to be addressed as soon as possible to reduce additional costs that come with repair. Ramjack is the best company in the industry for repairing your foundation. We have the highest quality products in the nation. So, if you are experiencing foundation problems, please contact us at ramjack.com/Atlanta or call us at 770-502-8881. That's 770-502-8881.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, hey, Bobby. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm having deck problems.
You're having deck problems?
Hey, keep it down. It's embarrassing.
Now, look, there's plenty of guys in the neighborhood with deck problems. What's the matter with yours?
Well, it's small and old compared to yours.
All right, let's not make this a deck measuring competition. You just need to call Excavations. They've seen decks of all sizes, shapes, and colors. Good news is Excavations can build you a sweet new deck that you'll love to show off to your friends and neighbors. Don't worry, Jimmy. We're going to get you some big deck energy.
Hi, this is Candace with Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't feel ashamed of your deck. Excavations can build an outdoor living space that you'll be proud of. And with our Exavision, we'll be able to show you your home's transformation before you even begin the work. Keep the HOA off your deck and give us a call today for decks, windows, siding, roofing, and more. Or visit us at exovations.com to get inspired.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, stand by. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davidson Flounder. You got a little CCR here, Flounder? I don't recognize this song. Is that CCR, boys?
Ooby Dooby.
Ooby Dooby.
Yes, it is.
1970, Creedence Clearwater Revival. First British #1 album with Cosmo's Factory. Was there for 9 weeks at #1.
Great album.
Sold 3 million copies in America.
This is Ramble Tamble.
Ramble Tamble? All right, sir.
Oh, sorry. Thought it was Ooby Dooby. Sounds like Ooby Dooby.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. I just stood my papers up and they're standing. Oh, they just fell over. Crap.
I blew them off.
Oh, you blew them off. Oh, there you go. Now, they all sound the same to me.
It does sound like Ooby Dooby. I'll give you that.
Anyway, and they were my theme song around the bend for 30 years or whatever, and I hated them. I always hated them and that song. That's okay. I don't care.
I don't understand.
I know, because I'm not normal. Our birthday list includes that naughty little Sydney Sweeney. Okay, she's 27. What's the deal on Sydney Sweeney? Now, she was in The White Lotus, and all of a sudden, she became a star. Does someone say that she's too fat or something to be on TV or in the movies, or she didn't have, and then all of a sudden she's showing her boobs? What the hell was going on with her?
She's a skinny girl with a nice butt and large boobs being a skinny girl. But she's got these bedroom eyes that are like something from like Veronica Lake from the 1930s. Her eyes are just mesmerizing.
She's got the look. But again, didn't somebody make fun of her saying she doesn't belong in the movies or something? There's something wrong with her.
Yeah, that she can't act or she doesn't look. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden she exploded on social media and now she's everywhere. And God bless her.
Her and Ana de Armas are the two most beautiful women in the world, I think, right now.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney, 27 years old. And let's see, on this day in history, this day 1966, the Monkees TV show premiered on NBC. Stephen Stills of Crosby, Stills, Nash fame auditioned for the Monkees. Stephen Stills auditioned for the Monkees show. He was told by casting directors they were looking for somebody just like him, but with better teeth and hair. So they hired Peter Tork. And one more extra Monkees-related trivia. Michael Nesmith's mother, Belle, was the inventor of liquid paper. Just for the record. 404-741-1230. 1-2-3-0.
Yeah, you're going to have to explain liquid paper to everybody that's under the age of 40
liquid paper
right
was
now.
like when you would make up a mistake with this typewriter stuff, and it was you would use liquid white ink basically, and you would ink out the mistake and then type back over. It would dry and then you type back over. It turned like the dust and would type back over it. I've got some. I have some in my work because I use my typewriter.
You'd have to stop everything you were doing and sit there and try and do just that little letter and the rest.
There's a little teeny little bottle, a little teeny little brush, and a little teeny little speck so you didn't smear the whole thing. And then you had to try to make it foot dry, and then you could type over it again. But you could always see it. You could always see it, so everybody knew that you made a mistake. So it's not like you didn't, anyway. All right. 540. One more quick sports story here, Pete. Now we got a couple of Dave Grohl stories. Speaking of celebrities in the news. First, in Bristol County, Massachusetts, it's outside of Boston, Dighton Rehoboth High School is deliberately going to forfeit an upcoming field hockey match, because the other team that's going to play them has a boy on the squad. And this isn't a tranny thing. This is a rule in Massachusetts. State law says boys can participate on girls' teams if the school does not offer the same sport for boys. Well, most schools don't have boys field hockey. And this is a field hockey girls team, which is almost exclusively girls teams. And that's a
rough sport.
It can be a very rough sport. It's like lacrosse, only with sticks that go on the ground and not waving up in the air with a net on them. But again, in fact, the superintendent guy said the reason we don't want to play this team is because they have a boy on the team. And last November, one of our girls on the squad got hit in the face and broke her bones and knocked out her teeth, and it was all caught on video, and the whole freaking team's been traumatized since they knew last November that they were going to play this guy again. They have to play. The policy of the district says if you don't want to play with a boy on the team, you have to forfeit the game. So they're going to forfeit the game because he says there's an obvious size and power advantage. I mean, we're prioritizing safety over victory, and in fact, it might mean that they have no chance of getting on to the chance at winning a championship, which they could by deliberately forfeiting a game because a boy is on the girls' team.
I'm not going to say who deserves this, but somebody needs their legs broken.
Somebody needs a punch in the nose. I mean, I'm telling you, if it's field hockey, those sticks hurt. Those are not little hockey sticks.
Deadly.
Those are big damn sticks. And those girls, what they should have done is deliberately attack the guy. Just beat the living crap out of him. I'm serious. Sometimes give war a chance, baby. I mean, and then see how many boys want to play on the girls' team. See what and by the way, how come your girls aren't sticking up for? I mean, I guess they're sticking up by forfeiting the team. But seriously, give a couple of whack. I mean, just beat the living crap out of them, right in the nuts.
Hit him between the legs.
Right in the nuts.
Get a stick between the legs.
That's right, baby. Right in the nuts. You don't want to kill him. You just want to hurt him.
Just break a leg.
You don't want to kill him. You want to hurt him.
Gigi's on the phone. She has an Elon Musk joke, maybe to lighten the mood a little bit.
Lighting the mood is all what we're about here, I think, aren't we, on our special Let It Rip Thursdays? Gigi, you're on the radio. Welcome aboard. How you doing?
Hey, Kimmer.
Hey, baby.
I've known you for years and years.
I've known you too, baby.
Always had a little bit of a thing for you.
Well, I have a thing for you myself right now. Let's get that top off.
Anyway, I heard Elon Musk opened a restaurant in space.
I'm sorry. Start again, sweetie. I talked to her. I couldn't. Yeah, Elon Musk. Yes.
Elon Musk opened a restaurant in space.
Restaurant in space.
The food is just out of this world, but there's not really any atmosphere
There's out of this world, but not in the atmosphere, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, hey, hi-oh. Oh, my God. It's like, Gigi, it's like going to the Karma restaurant. There's no menu. You kind of just get what you deserve. I guess it's like a Karma restaurant, you see. Hey, baby, you have a great day. That's our friend
Great
Gigi.
voice.
Oh, so yeah. She got that smoky voice, baby girl. A couple of things. Dave Grohl's wife, Jocelyn, or Jordan, I guess her name is being consoled by major Hollywood stars, including Kate Hudson, after Dave Grohl announced to the world that he had knocked up his girlfriend, cheating on his wife, and now has a baby to take care of, aside from the 3 or 4 kids he already has with her. She is no longer wearing the wedding ring, apparently, the wife, and I don't know whether there's talk of divorce or whatever, but she took off her wedding ring not long ago, and now there's a story just came on. Apparently, a woman who was potentially one of his pickup girls has now said that Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl has a go-to pickup line. This girl, let's see, the girl met him at a bar in West Hollywood in 2001, and he says, so I'm just having some drinks, acting like a jackass, he shared at the time, and by the end of the night I was ticked off, and I'm staring at her going, you're my future ex-wife. Ha, 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 ha. Well, apparently, according to a former Nirvana drummer, he gave her his number as Jordan, your future ex-wife. And now 35-year-old Alex, who claims to be exclusively the girl that Grohl married in August 2003, welcoming 3 daughters with her, hit on her using the exact same line 10 years into his marriage. I mean, good Lord.
Hey, we got breaking news here, by the way. Flounder found this earlier. Yeah, Fox mentioned earlier about this case with Trump and Fannie Willis and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, according to Monica Crowley, Judge McAfee, overseeing her case against President Trump, just dismissed multiple criminal counts against him and other defendants, ruling that she had no standing to bring the charges. The bogus lawfare is collapsing. All of these preposterous cases should be dismissed.
And it's just in time for the election. Oh, my God. I can't believe there's no comment yet from Trump on it or breaking news on this thing. In fact, I heard a quick update a few minutes ago and forgot to double check on it. This is a major story, especially in Georgia. Holy crap. And again, politics. Oh, man, this is unbelievable. Lawfare. Yeah, we're coming for you. 546, Kimber, Feed, and Flounder. I love it. Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
When you see those soldiers standing there in driving rain, they're told to leave their post, and they're like, I will not, because I have so much reverence for the people that this tomb represents. And then you have Democrats who don't even show up. Until you show up, shut up.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but need a trusted resource to navigate life beyond military service. The Warrior Alliance is changing thousands of lives for the better and needs your support to expand our impact. Join us for an exciting fundraising program, followed by an Atlanta Braves baseball private event on Friday, September 13th. Special guests include powerful veteran testimonies, Atlanta Braves alumnus Sid Bream, and Drivin' and Cryin's Kevin Kinney. Individual tickets and VIP tables are on sale now at thewarrioralliance.org.
Hey, it's Mike with Atlanta Painting Company. In this fall, we invite you to transform your home. Our expert team brings color to life with top quality paints and flawless finishes, and leading the industry with our color consultants. Whether it's a fresh coat of paint for one room or an entire exterior makeover, the Atlanta Painting Company has you covered. So, trust the local pros for reliable, professional service when you need to revive your home or business. Find us at atlantapaintingcompany.com or call us at 1-800-PAINTING. That's atlantapaintingcompany.com. The Atlanta Painting Company, the painters you can trust.
At Nelson Elder Care Law, we understand that family's everything. That's why we prioritize your family's future with personalized asset protection solutions. Call us today to schedule your legacy planning meeting and discover how our team can tailor our services to meet your family's unique needs, ensuring a secure and worry-free future. NelsonElderCareLaw.com.
Oh man, look at my backyard. Looks like a tornado met a hurricane in a desert. I'm going to tell her to turf off. Or maybe you'd rather turf on with ATL Turf Co., the Southeast leading turf installer. Whether you'd like a new football field, putting green, or have us create the perfect maintenance-free backyard of your dreams, find ATLTurfCo.com. Make your yard great again. Visit ATLTurfCo.com and see what we've created for customers like you in the Southeast. ATLTurfCo.com. And no more yard cackling.
Hey, mercy. The Beatles. Magical Mystery Tour. Here we go. Well, they were filming the Magical Mystery Tour, and the bus headed for Whitcomb on the moor where the local fair was being held. The bus driver took a shortcut and ended up stuck on a bridge. The coach ended up having to drive in reverse for a half a mile before he could turn the damn thing around. Then they went to Plymouth, followed by a 20-car convoy of reporters and photographers for the Magical Mystery Tour of the Beatles. Our birthday list includes Louis C.K., 57 years old today, and Emmy Rossum. You know that girl from played Fiona on Shameless on Showtime. She's 38 years old today. Local guy 2 Chainz, the rapper guy, is 47. You may know that name. And one history thing here. I got one more thing. It was an Apple World 2009 on this day. Steve Jobs says Apple's iTunes has captured about 90% of the entire download market. And on the same day in 2023, Apple offered the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. It's an Apple World. 550, was that a message for me by chance? Oh, no, it was a girl. Oh, sorry. Let's see.
Okay, Shannon.
No, I said 551. I want to repeat the story about Bon Jovi, just in case you haven't heard it. And if you haven't seen the video, there's video out there. Bon Jovi was doing a music video in Nashville on the famous bridge called the John Siegenthaler Pedestrian Bridge, named for a reporter who stopped a man from jumping to his death and trying to commit suicide back in the 1950s. On this bridge, Bon Jovi was nearby with his crew doing his filming of the music video, and he saw a woman on the other side of the bridge railing ready to jump. So he and his cameraman or another person went slowly walked up to her, started talking to her, and the video shows them getting closer and closer. They start talking. She eventually turns around toward them. They pull her back over the rail. They talk some more, and then they're seen hugging. Bon Jovi's not talking about it and won't, out of respect for the woman and her privacy. And it's pretty touching. I mean, I saw the video this morning. It's very touching. Bon Jovi has a foundation to help people deal with homelessness, poverty, and hunger. And so he's kind of trained in dealing with tragic situations or trying to avoid them. And he got a lot of nice feedback about what he did for that nice lady and saved her, and hope everything's going to turn out all right for her, too. 552, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let's see. No Trump, no more third Trump debate, which I think is bizarre. You
know that that Bon Jovi thing, it kind of balances out the scales. You know, all the guys who have flung themselves off tall buildings because their girlfriends won't quit playing Bon Jovi. So it kind of balances out a little bit.
I didn't know Bon Jovi. Is Bon Jovi kind of the love song guy? I don't know Bon Jovi from Adam's House Cat.
I just never cared for any of this stuff.
Well, I mean, but anyway, he seems like a nice man. I mean, he
does seem like a very nice man. Very nice, smart man.
I've ever seen of him in dealing with anybody at any time. He's always just seems a really nice guy.
That's
just
right.
kind of a
very
down to earth and not at all anyway a show guy. Let's see. Patrick.
Don't hate the man, just hate the music.
No, I hate the music. Patrick Mahomes is, I think, really taking a really good high road here. His wife Brittany, of course, has been in the social media news for basically endorsing Donald Trump, saying she really liked what he said the other day and stuff like that. And, of course, Brittany Mahomes is one of the best friends of Taylor Swift, who, of course, endorses his competition. So, anyway, in fact, they were seen apart from each other in the suites at the last game and so forth. Now, apparently, they're still together, whatever. But now, Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, was asked about his wife's comments, and he took the high road. He said, well, Brittany does a lot in the community. I do a lot in the community to help people, bring up people, and give people an opportunity to use their voice. In political times, people are going to use stuff here and there, but I can't let that affect how I go about my business every single day of my life, trying to live at the best of my ability. At the end of the day, it's about me and my family and how we treat other people. And he left it at that, which is perfect. I mean, that's, he stayed out of it. And by the way, I hope people don't, social freaking media, they're going to make a big deal about this no matter what. And by the way, a quick thing on phonies. Democrats. There's a Kansas City mayor, Quentin Lucas, is a blue city blue mayor who famously has called for defunding the police. In 2022, he sued Missouri over a law that required the city to increase funding for the police departments. He said he sued to stop it. He has concerns about crimes and so forth. Now, all of a sudden, that a very popular restaurateur chef has been murdered. The guy was taken out as garbage the other day. Very popular Irish chef, apparently Sean Brady, an Irish immigrant shot dead outside the restaurant he owned, taking out the trash. Everybody loved him. Everybody knew him. The mayor says, oh, my God, what a loss, what a loss. And now the mayor says, we need to start bringing in more police officers to get a lot more people to take care of these crime things. 2 years ago, you were trying to stop him from being in your city at all, you lousy, dirty, freaking phony. And the same thing with a Texas Democrat named Representative Colin Allred. Now he called the border wall racist. My generation is one will tear down that wall. You're not going to have a wall in this country when I'm in that office. Tear down that wall. Yeah, that was a couple years ago. Now all of a sudden he's running against a conservative, so he's now all in favor of the new border wall, just like Carmella.
I just sent you 2 texts of breaking news. They're both about the debate.
Go ahead. Well, go ahead and read it if you got it in front of you. Do you have it in front of you?
Colin Rugg saying former top Clinton, of course, Twitter, of course, immediately takes it away from me.
I got it. Former top Clinton advisor calls for internal probe of ABC for rigging the debate against Trump. The former advisor to Bill and Hillary and Mark Pence says ABC needs to launch an investigation for rigging the outcome. I think they should do a full internal investigation, hire an outside law firm. I don't know how much of this was planned in advance. I don't know what they told the Harris campaign. I think the day after suspicion here is already quite high. A review of their internal texts and emails really should be done by an independent party to find out what extent they were planning on, in effect, fact-checking just one candidate and, in effect, rigging the outcome of this debate. The situation demands nothing less than that.
And the second one, read the second one.
Second one is Corey Lewandowski. Is that the one we're doing? Campaign staffers on Edge? Oh, I don't know.
Nope. All right. Apparently, there's an ABC whistleblower who will be releasing a signed affidavit through his lawyer. He will detail how Kamala got the questions in advance. Should happen today or tomorrow. That's a rumor.
Oh, mercy. Oh, that's from Lara Logan or somebody's quoting it?
No, it's Kyle Becker.
Kyle Becker.
Right underneath.
I've read it. Oh, here we go. And again, it was obvious the fix was in. Holy smokes.
Oh, by the way,
man, I'm loving this. Yeah.
The wind has arrived. It is really getting windy up here.
30 or 40 miles. Okay, Founders Funnies, 558.
So she says, what do you need, sir? And I said, well, I don't have my laundry. And I gave it to you. She said, you didn't give it to me. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Because I get to be really mad. I said, I gave it to your department and I was promised, like it's in the Constitution that you get your laundry. I was promised I'd have it in 24 hours and it's been longer. She said, what do you want me to do about it? So I got really mad. I said, listen, ma'am, first of all, you can hear in my voice that I'm white. By the way, I'll defend that right now. I will defend that. Because look, it's wrong that white people get preferential treatment. It's wrong. but as long as they do. I'm supposed to get the best because I'm white, which is awful and wrong.
That's
Louis C.K. right there.
Our birthday boy right there. 5:59 here with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, I didn't really get to delve into the story very much, but 2 stories we'll probably do on Let It Rip Friday tomorrow, and maybe Pete will have a surprise for us, if possible, of our lately of our Friday kind of thing that's happening.
Well, we did one Monday. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow.
If you think about it, a little surprise. Also, there is a new study which shows how much time you should spend making love per session, including the foreplay, the actual cowabunga, and the afterplay. How much time? And how about bedroom fantasies? We have a study. It's all coming up tomorrow.
How long it takes to set up the Instagram Live. You know?
and the hidden camera. It's almost 6 o'clock. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. I got to go. You're killing me. Christine, sing me home, baby. Look out, Herb and Herb.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.